Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. Buzz, 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 buzz. It's Blake's Buzz Live. Hate less, read comics. It's Blake's Buzz Live.
Buzz, buzz, babies.
All right, Buzz babies, and we are live on Blake's Buzz, and I've got some awesome comic creators in the house. We are going to talk about comics. We're going to talk about crowdfunding. We're going to talk about direct market. We're going to talk about how hard it is to market and brand yourself sometimes when it seems like no one wants to help you, and then you have to hit me up 2 days before a show and beg to come on. Mario, hey. No, I'm always happy to help any way I can. That's what we made the platform for, and so that I get free comics. I always make the joke that like they say, like elephants work for peanuts, right? I work for PDFs, and that's it ends up working. Anyways, thank you everybody for tuning in. I do want to tell before we get into our introductions. How do I do this? I've done this before, guys. Don't worry. It's yeah. All right. I don't know. So we're going to do a giveaway, basically. Here we go. We're going to do a giveaway. And so people that tune in, I want you to enter hashtag static. And as the show goes on, we're going to, if you enter that, you get in the giveaway, and then we randomly select somebody, and you're going to get a copy of Band of Bards from the Static. They're hot off the press horror anthology. Well, it's hot off the press a couple months ago, but it's a fairly new horror anthology, and you're going to get it for free. Like, how cool is that? US only though, because I'm not going to pay out the ass to ship it to you if you're way out of the country. I'm sorry. I'm unemployed, guys. I can't be doing that shit. Anyways, hi, welcome to Blake's Buzz. First up, we got Matt Kund in the house. Matt, how you doing tonight, bud?
I'm very happy to be here. Very excited to talk, and just the joy of making comics and all that good stuff.
It's so joyful. It's the joyousness of it all that keeps us all in the rat race, scrambling for relevancy and I guess that's a good way to put it, right? Scrambling for relevancy. That's what we're all doing. Next up, we got Mario Candelaria. He has been on the show. Have you been on twice? Is this your third time or second time? I can't.
I'm not too sure, but I'm happy that payment cleared so you can get me on the show again.
Now I know why you can't ship internationally. I got you.
And the island of relevancy has 2 more people.
I think it's the third. Because I remember you were on once with Stephen Prince, and I think you're on another time too. But I can't. This shit ruins my brain. I can't keep it all straight. It's crazy, man. I've over between this and the podcast, I'm at over 100 episodes. I've interviewed well over 100 creators now, and I've written well over 100 reviews. And I just did March. What was it? The 25th, I think, was the Blake's Buzz 2-year anniversary when I launched the blog 2 years ago. Man, it seems like fucking forever, but it's only been 2 years.
Do I get a 5-timers jacket?
Jared Luhan said that too. He said I need to get like jackets or shirts made for people that come on the show a lot. I was like, man, like you're already. I love you, Jared, but you're throwing me over budget. Like
that's a high tier Patreon reward,
right? Yeah. I got it. That's the next Patreon tier we haven't announced yet. And last but not least, Mr. James Ferguson is in the house. James does editing. James does comic making. James and Matt have Kickstarters live right now that we're going to talk about tonight. And we're going to talk about some of Mario's stuff. Mario's got a new comic coming out early May from Band of Bards, which is just a really cool reminder of how much fun we all had in the pandemic. It seems like yesterday it was just a great trip down memory lane. Fuck, man. No, it's dark and weird, and Matt's got Iron Eagle out, which is like it's like this hallucinatory espionage wonderful issue with really, really awesome art that is very pretty and a very cool blue hue on every page. I really like the colors palette. And James has I love saying the name of your comic because it sounds dirty. It sounds like something you get done in a truck stop bathroom. A real slobber knocker is live right now on Kickstarter.
That's a good old JR, man. That was it. That's been in my head since I was a little kid watching wrestling back in the day. So yeah.
And then we've already got some people coming live from Australia. We got David Hazan. What's up, baby? Good to see you. Something's different here. I shaved. Maybe that's it. I shaved and there's no green screen because apparently when you put up a green screen, StreamYard just can't fucking handle it. And then you interview a Hollywood horror director, and for an hour and 15 minutes, your fucking voice isn't attached to your goddamn head. I was like, cool. I get a real Hollywood movie director on, and I look like an asshole. Thanks for that, StreamYard. Shout out to our sponsor tonight, StreamYard. we got Ignacio in the house, Buzz baby. Happy to have everybody, guys. I am well, I'm about half crocked, but I'm in a good mood. I'm excited. I've been for the last. I'm unemployed, right? So my hard days, I wake up and do some video editing and make content and try and I've been throwing out the resume, just updated that. That was fun. Like, I'm like a pretty good writer, right? People tell me that. I'm not like tooting my own horn here. Like, if you guys listen to the latest Matt Kent episode, he says it. He's like, you're a good writer, Blake. And I was like, oh my God. I almost cried. Anyway.
Put the resume. That's it.
Yeah. And I should be like, Matt Kent says I'm a smart,
that's an endorsement,
talented writer. But I updated the resume, and I was like, I haven't done that in a long time, right? I worked at my last job over 4 years. And I remember before that, when I lost the bar job, I remember like making and I was just like, I just felt dumb. I was like, this doesn't even make sense. I was like, this isn't I could write about comic books all day, right? I can sort of write a short story. But resume writing is like, it's like dirty and weird, and I didn't even have to write a cover letter, luckily, right? But it's just like, I can't do that like self-congratulatory, I don't like myself that much. And in the resume, you have to at least pretend to. It's just, I don't know. It's real weird. So I updated the resume this week and wrote some reviews and stuff. And before you guys came on, I was rocking out I've been on a Static X kick, man, just doing some Wisconsin death rock, dude. And like, I was just rocking out, drinking some whiskey, getting excited to talk comics. Anyways, how are you guys tonight? How's your day going? Tell me all the stories. Like, we got some like dirty secrets. Like, I don't know, we're struggling for viewers here, guys. We gotta get anybody wants to take their shirt off. I'm not gonna tell you no. I'm just kidding.
So I was getting a real slobber knocker the other day, and then
oh my goodness. Now, all of you guys I do a lot of work with Kickstarters, and all of you guys have been around the block with Kickstarter, and you've dealt with the successes and the failures, right? So I guess, just to start off with, because not everybody is as lucky on Kickstarter, right? It's a weird time right now, with the struggling territory of indie comics. There's a lot of people going to Kickstarter, right? And like doing that first before pitching it around. And I like that. I like that Kickstarter, Zoop, all these new things, right? They're all there to like help people, get their stories out. But there's a lot of campaigns going. It seems like at any time. There's never really a right time to launch a campaign. And like, I guess for, a lot of our viewers and me myself, I'm curious too. Like, how do you guys deal with like getting knocked down and picking yourself back up again, especially with something as intimate as like a comic book? That's like, you got to sacrifice a lot to make that, right? You got to shell out a lot of money and pay your artists. It's a big commitment. And when it doesn't work out sometimes, or even if you land at a publisher and that ends up being a struggle or not what you expected it to be, like what makes you guys keep going? Like, how do you propel yourself in your own narrative and keep turning your own pages, I guess?
Who wants to take this one first?
I mean, I don't have I'm still the rookie in the game, I guess, but I mean, I have my first like solo Kickstarter is running now, but I just had my first failure, I guess, just before that I was in an anthology that it wasn't funded. So, that was a struggle. And it's one of those things where you're looking, it's like, oh, hey, the first day was great. And then it just kind of, drips and drabs. And you're like, what do we do? And then like, there was like a last minute push to kind of get everything funded towards the end. But it's like, all right, this is a very steep uphill climb here. And, I look at it as like, I love that line, by the way, Blake, about you are a good writer, because hearing, how do you keep turning your pages? That's excellent. But I think
I'm here all day, baby.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm like, I still want to make the story in some way. So like, I'm still going to finish my story that was in an anthology. Not to like pull on Cody Rhodes a little bit, but I mean, like, it's a matter of like just finishing that and like I saw this vision. I want to see that through to its completion through hell or high water. And it was like, with comics, like I don't want to ask for someone's permission. Like and
Mhm.
that's for the beauty of Kickstarter. That's why we're in there in the first place. Like we want to do this anyway. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna throw it out there. If it doesn't work this way, let's try it a different way.
Nice. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I just think that I'm one of those people that is just really weird about their comics, and that I love it so much that you know, the evolution of going to a store, getting a pull list, sort of getting into it, and then just sort of ideas in your head, much like James said earlier. Just you know, I have to assume that everybody here has the fun time of getting a rejection letter from a publisher, or even worse, not even hearing back from them. But with crowdfunding, it's a way to you know, continue to make these things and get them out in the world. And yeah, I just think I'm a weird guy that if I'm not working or doing something else, I'm trying to sit in my basement and write or do something involved with comics. I just think maybe I'm consumed with it a little too much.
I like that. I like that. I like that addictive mentality because I'm a sick weirdo, and I like that. But I think you gotta be a little bit addicted to it, right? I remember when I was in grad school in my MFA program, and I was like sending short stories out and poetry for publication. And I had heard about some writers that used to hang their rejection letters up, right? And they would like get them and print them out and hang them. Or back then, I'm aging myself, right? We used to have to send self-addressed stamped envelopes with our fucking like 15 pages of short stories in it. Or like when I wrote a novel when I was 23, and it was cool that I wrote a novel, but it wasn't good. And like, and you know, like I queried it out to agents and like that excitement of like, when they ask for 50 pages or whatever, you know, they're like, hey, send us 50 pages. We'll check it out. And then every time it was like, well, this wasn't really what we thought it would be. And no, thanks. But just like, I would print those out and like hang them. And it did like I would see those every day and it would like make me want to work harder, make me want to send more stuff out. And my friends would be like, Blake, what's wrong with you? Like, you're just like decorating your room with failure. And I was like, leave me alone, man. Like, you guys don't get it. I'm living that rock star writer life. You don't know. And anyways, but I quit doing that. But also because I got kind of burned out in grad school. And anyways, long story short, like Blake's Buzz kind of made me start writing and started as reviews and stuff. And now I'm kind of getting that itch to like tell stories again. But it sucks because I talk to all you guys and see how big of a clusterfuck the industry is. And I'm like, maybe I don't want to tell stories.
It's still worth it.
No, I'm kidding. I would love to. Like, I just don't, it's weird because I have to write a curator for an anthology just messaged me and he was like, so are you going to fucking send me a script or are we just not doing this? And so like, I have to write this 2-page script for an anthology. And you know, when you think about when you're like 2 pages, that's nothing. Like that's easy. But then it's like, no, dude, you have to make like a good thing in 2 pages. Right. And it's 2 comic book pages. And so like, you gotta like, you get what, like 8 panels, 9 panels or so. Like I'm not one of those, like, I'm not Tom King. I'm not going to drop like a 12 panel grid for the artist in my first anthology appearance. Right. And, but so, yeah, I told the guy, I was like, can I have till Sunday? And cause I almost bowed out cause like things are weird and like job searching and stuff. And I'm having to, for the last couple months, I kind of put everything into the show. Right. And treated the show like a job and some cool things happened because of that. But I definitely like now I'm like I'm basically like out of money. And now I'm like, oh shit. Like you had like 2 months worth of money and now you don't anymore and you still don't have a job, you genius. So anyway, that's my life. I don't know, I'm sure you guys tuned in to hear all that depressing shit. And last up, Mr. Mario, how do you keep, cause I don't want to bring it up, but like you and Jay had a really cool comic that didn't get funded. And that was kind of like a bummer. And it looked like a really great, like noir mystery story. And like Jay's art was Jay Chic. It's like his art was just awesome. And it looked like a really cool project. And I mean, you know what? And now you're still out there, man. You're still hustling. Like you just wrapped up Killcella, and like which was fucking phenomenal. I finally finished it, and like the payoff was so like bloody and excellent and weird. It was very like fucking like Midsummer meets Coachella. Like, I kind of really want. Somebody should give you a fucking movie deal. I don't any like Hollywood producers that are tuning in to Blake's Buzz. I know a lot of you, listen to the show now because I'm famous, right? But like, you should check out Coachella and give Mario a movie deal. But anyway, like, how do you? What makes you keep going and like dealing with the struggle and the rat race? How do you keep yourself afloat?
I take that shit personally. I mean, it's one of those things like, it's not hubris, but it's like, come on, man, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Right. And then you just try to analyze that from from a tech point, which is, where I come from, on my day job. We look at, failure reports and, success reports and see what you can fix and go in. But that's just, that's computer talk. People don't want to hear that. Really, it's just grit. I was always told never give up. So it's one of those things like, try to push through and try again. Having something fail, like, One True Love flopped, and I own that. I took that personally. It didn't really depress me, but I was kind of bummed. I had other stuff that was good going on at the same time. So it's like, all right, that's not as bad. But, I know some other friends who have books that don't make it and that's all they have going on. I try to tell them, hey, let's just keep going, you can learn as much from a loss as you can from a win. Right. So it's just, this isn't an easy thing to try to get into. I tell everyone that, making comics isn't like, oh, hey, this is kid shit. It's not. It's a business, and a lot of times, businesses don't succeed even if with the best preparation. So, picking yourself up and learning from failures is a part of that.
Nice. That's good. I like that. Yeah. Well, because I mean, what is it like? Failure's a weird thing, right? Like if you're in a good place, you can let it teach you something, right? And you can even turn it into a positive. You can say, hey, like you said, like, I owned this. I'm going to use that experience for later. I know a lot of people have had Kickstarter hiccups, and they'll go back to it, and re-release it at a later time and with a different a different strategy, right? Yeah. But I mean, so the reason I asked this question is because I was the opposite for a while. Like, when I said, like, there was that time where I was hanging the rejection letters up, and that was fueling me to send more out and try. But I lost that, right? Like one day, like, I looked at them and I was just like, maybe this isn't going to happen. Maybe it's not supposed to happen. Maybe you're not a good enough writer. And then when you're in like an MFA program and you're seeing some of your classmates have a lot of success or like winning an award, or I remember this one writer, her whole thesis got published and turned into a short story collection, and it was like, you're like happy for them too, but it's also like you're like, is that, it didn't happen to me, and like I'm not, so that there's like this, like, that imposter syndrome is so easy to like seep in through your peripheral vision, right? When you least expect it. It's like a vignette, and it just gets darker and darker and darker until you can't fucking see anything. And that happened to me. And then I got burned out, and then I dropped out of grad school, and now I'm going to pay money until I fucking die, because I got this partial MFA experience, which taught me a lot. It really, and I'm not, like, I won't lie. Like, one of the reasons why I write good reviews and I'm good at talking comics, and I'm good at what I do, is because of that MFA program, because it taught me about storytelling and storytelling mechanics. And I know about tension and pacing and plot progression. It's cause there's a lot of, I creep on other comic book reviewers. Right. And I got thoughts, man. Like, I'm pretty sure some of them are getting paid, not like tons of money, but like, I recently got, someone approached me at Planet Comic-Con and gave me a card, and basically they were like, we'll give you $7 for every review you write. And basically what I was told was like, you're not getting a lot of money to sacrifice your own content that I could be putting on my Substack, that I could be thinking about charging for my Substack later. Yeah. But I would never, even if I do ever charge for my Substack, I said this, that I would never, like, the reviews and stuff I post, I would never charge for those. That would always be free content. I wouldn't want to charge for my reviews. But it's interesting to me to talk to you guys about that, because I know everybody wants to talk about failure, right? Because that's the exciting, fun conversations that you guys come on Blake's Buzz to have. But like, selfishly, like, it teaches me a lot, and it's cool to see how other people deal with that and combat that in an industry that oftentimes, that I love, I love the comic book industry. I love the comic book world, but the more I get to know it, and the more involved I am in it, it is a bummer. I see how it treats you guys, and how it treats artists, and how it treats letters and colorists, and how some people don't even get their names on the covers and stuff anymore. Right. And it's sad. It's sad how people are treated. And it's, the love of the game, right, keeps you coming back. And it's interesting for me to talk about that. Anyways, long story short, let me get off my soapbox and let's have fun. I promised everybody we'd have fun.
There's a comparison I like to tell people, and I say that getting published is a lot like losing your virginity, where the more you're struggling to try to get it done, and you're seeing everyone else around you, like it's happening for them, the worse it feels. You're like thinking, how come I'm not getting this? But it happens less, like the least you expect it.
Oh yeah, and it's like not great the first time. you're like, yeah, that journal picked up my short story, but I'm a much better writer now. Like I can go 7 pages, 4,300 words max, right? Like I'm not going to tire out as quickly. We'll get there. We'll get to the climax. I promise. Like, the boom, we're gonna nail that third act, baby. Anyways, I like that.
No, but
like that.
Some group chats feel like American Pie, where everyone's toasting themselves to the next step.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
sorry. Go.
No, that's like, that comes back to that drive. I mean, like the book I've got, the a real slobber knocker, that came out of failure. Like Dan Buxa and we pitched to an anthology and we got rejected. And it was like, we thought for sure we were in this. Like we were so ecstatic about our story. We're like, this is it. We got all this stuff lined up. And then we got rejected. It was like, oh, well, shit. Like maybe the story isn't that good. Maybe not. And then like, right after we got the rejection notice, Dan reached out and he was like, do you want to just do this anyway? We're like, yeah, screw it. Like, we're going to, like I said, we're not waiting for anyone's permission. We're going to do this anyway. And we made it bigger and better. And that's where we're at now.
Nice.
Now look who's laughing. You're sitting here at double your goal.
That's it. Double 200%, baby.
Yeah. Your Kickstarter is looking good. We got some people in the chat. Let's say, hey, we got Ronan. All these people are overseas. Shit. You guys can't enter the everybody. You guys are gonna make me change the international rules. Like, yeah, fuck it.
I'll
hashtag static. If you guys live far away, we'll figure out how to pay for it. And then we got. Oh, what's up? Red Sea Comics in the house. We got a publisher in here. That's dope. Yeah. I did. I semi-quoted I remixed Chumbawamba into the Blake's Buzz Positivity remix. Okay, we got Lost. What's up, Lost in the Comics? Yeah, I know. I got the baby face, but it looks babyish, but like it feels like sandpaper because I don't actually shave because it's uncomfortable. I just buzz it all. Like you can, see, we can all relate. Is it not supposed? Hey, all right. Here's a new one. Let's all talk about our first time fucking. That's good.
No. But Blake, open it up.
Matt's like, nope, I'm out of here. Like,
open up the Contest International. I'll cover you. I got that Kilchella money, so
that Kilchella money. All right. Well, I guess. Let's start off. We're here to talk comics and not just comic failures, as some of you may have thought during the first 20 minutes of this chat. But Matt has Metal Eagle on shelves, or not on shelves, on Kickstarter right now. Let's pull this up. Matt's we got 24 days to go. We got 57 backers, and I've gotten to read this, everybody, and it's a very good story. I want to find some, like, this art. I really love this art and this color palette. These blues and purples and this very cool, calming hue. Even though it's got some great action. It's basically like the government makes this punk band to kind of go undercover, and they got to stop a missile launch, and all these cool things happen. I don't want to spoil things. I definitely don't want to spoil things, but I guess Matt, real quick, give us your con table pitch real quick. Like, I'm walking by your table, you catch me looking at your comic. How are you gonna lasso me and pull me up and get $5 out of me?
So I like to use the how everybody mashes things up. I like to use the Atomic Blonde meets this is Spinal Tap. So you have some of the spy aspects of it, but as musicians, they're not super great. They're CIA agents. working with a front of a metal band to travel around Europe. So that's the initial sort of pitch. But in issue 1, there's an origin story of how they put the operation together. And as you talk about, Blake, there's a missile launch that they're trying to avert. And I had the thought of like, what happens if you had to get like a key piece of information out of Ozzy Osbourne, and it's just that drug-addled like mumbling, and he's like, you just got to figure out like what's the one thing that he's saying to you that's important. So I have a character from a classic rock band who is still touring, and Metal Eagle has to run him down and get the code from him. But again, just imagine trying to get something of importance out of Ozzy Osbourne and figure out what the thing that he's saying is the thing that you need. So that's the premise of issue 1. So again, the table pitch is Atomic Blonde meets This Is Spinal Tap. So you have spying, and you have some heavy metal music, rock music going on there at the same time.
Nice. And Gonzalo Ruggieri is on art and colors, and that's the Matt's writing is great, but I'm a big fan of this art. It's very different and cool, and it works really well for this kind of narrative. And then yeah, the bonus short story at the end is great too. And I think your pricing is really fair too. Like $3 for the digital, like that's so solid. It's $10 for print. You got some cool variants too. And so yeah, I mean, you guys can get like we got the t-shirt, we got a bunch of cool stuff here. Nice little, man, that's what sucks about Kickstarter is you guys do these you find these really great artists that like don't know yet how much they can really charge for commissions, and like and so it's such a great way to get like custom art. And I don't know if a lot of people know that, but it really is like $70 for a commission here. Like it would be very cool. Like,
yeah, Gonzalo is cutting me a bit of a deal there as part of the Kickstarter, because his art is amazing and should be more than that, but he's cutting a bit of a deal for those commissions here.
Yeah, it's a very cool campaign, and you're still early. I mean, I guess you're just wrapping up your first week, right?
We launched on April Fool's Day, so in
nice.
Between everybody trying to send you emails or memes about incredibly weird stuff that was happening, I was trying to get through all of the nonsense of April Fool's Day and get people to look at my Kickstarter and not believe that some famous celebrity had been arrested for doing something really weird and stuff like that. All the stuff you have to deal with on April Fool's Day on the internet. I was still trying to get eyeballs there.
I remember when I was younger, I got my wisdom teeth pulled on April Fool's Day, and I was real nervous. I've never been like put under or anything before, right? I've never and so like I went in like thinking they were gonna knock me out. It was gonna be weird. I was worried about like how much it was gonna hurt later, and so like my blood pressure and pulse rate was real high, and they were like, well, we're not gonna put you under because of your vitals. And I was like, okay. And they were like, we can do 2 and you can come back and do 2. And I was like, no, get them all. I want it done. Like take all 4 out. So I got all 4 of my wisdom teeth pulled awake. Right. And the worst part was they had me lift up a leg. They were like, lift up your leg. And they gave me shots on like 2 on each side of my teeth. So like, it was like 16 shots, and that part hurt. And like it went numb. And I remember the dentist, he like had this like weird little hammer stick thing, and he like puts it in the back of my mouth, and he like leans on me, man. Like I can't feel anything, but I can feel his body weight like moving me. And then I felt like something, he like nudged it real hard on both sides, like on each tooth, and then lifted it out. And like, I felt it leave my mouth. Right. But it didn't hurt at all. It was just like a weird sensation, and my mouth's propped open. And when he pulls the first one out, he goes, oh shit, I pulled the wrong tooth. And I was like, oh, and he was like, April Fool's, bud. And I was like, like, so yeah, never go to the dentist on April Fool's Day, folks. But yeah, anyways, that was a cool April Fool's Day experience on my end. I always like to make it about me after you guys tell your own stories. So I'll find ways to make it all about me tonight over and over again. But no, Matt, so Matt, I got to read Metal Eagle, and another thing I like about how a lot of, I don't want to say it's the right way to run a Kickstarter, because I know sometimes it can't happen, but it does make me as press and a consumer feel better when like you guys are like, yeah, it's done. Like it's ready to go. It's going to go to print. Like we're raising the money to take it to print, to pay for the shipping, but the book is done. Cause there's a lot of times where, and like people will hit me up and it's hard decisions sometimes. And they're like, yeah, like have us on your show. Let's talk about this Kickstarter. Here's 3 pages. That's all we have. And I'm like, man, we've never talked before. Like like my shows run a little long sometimes, like, and I like to talk and ask questions about narratives and stuff, like, and get into it. And it's just like, whoa. And then there's also that fear of like, what if you guys fuck up? What if the artist leaves? And then like, I'm using my platform. Like I have a good platform. I have a good voice and people trust me now. Right. Which is weird, like sucks for you guys. But when I recommend a comic, people listen, and especially like Kickstarters and stuff. If I'm out there like, hey, like, yeah, this is worth spending the extra money on, and then that doesn't follow through, or, like it puts me in a weird place, right? It's like when you get your buddy a job and he steals from the company or some shit, right? Like, and it falls back on you and you're like, I didn't know my best friend was a thief. And they're like, really? He's your best friend? And you're like, well, I mean, I didn't know he would steal from you. No, I don't just but it puts me in a weird position. So but I think when you have a Kickstarter or a crowd, any kind of crowdfunding that you're kind of doing, like when you have that finished product ready to go, right? And you guys usually say that in your Kickstarter page. You're like, it's done, it's ready to go to print. Like as soon as it funds, as soon as like the campaign ends, we're going to get the ball rolling. Like as a consumer, I feel a lot better about putting my money down on that, right? And I think a lot of other Kickstarter people do, like people that back a lot of campaigns. But it also like says something too about your passion for the project, right? Because you're like, hey, I put my own money where my mouth is, right? Mm-hmm. Like I paid my artist, it's ready to go. Like we did all this. Like Matt, have you found like that's kind of the vibe with your Kickstarter audience or and the way you run things? Like, do you kind of feel like that puts you in a better position to start the campaign with a finished product?
Yeah, and I have to admit that I was early on, I was one of those people that would go to Kickstarter with 1, 2, 5 pages. Mm-hmm. But now I just feel more comfortable and more confident, even though I'm going to glance at my Kickstarter numbers right there and stuff like that. But like, just having it done is a level of confidence that I'm really happy about. And I actually want to like one up my production or my level of ability to fulfill as this thing gets closer. The guy that's my letterer, that's my co-host, that's going to format on my podcast is going to format the pages. I'd like to have the pages uploaded and ready to go with the printer so that when the funds come in, I can just hit, go ahead and print. I never knew that whole preparing your files for the printer was going to be one of the hardest parts of making comics. I was always like, oh, and then I don't think I've ever turned the files in right the first time. So, but I'm going to work with a printer that I worked with before that I know has really great customer service. So I actually want to, even more than having it all done, I want to have everything uploaded.
Nice.
I can hit print when the funds show up. Send digital copies out. Soon after the campaign ends. I think that's one thing that's really cool is to get a digital copy, or everybody that's there at the digital copy or at the physical copy or whatever level of the Kickstarter rewards that they're at, is to at least be able to send them PDFs 24 48 hours after that campaign ends. So it's sort of the immediacy of like, all right, you guys are here with me, here's something really quick, here's something that you can read, and meantime I'm going to be packing envelopes, I'm going to be communicating with you as stuff comes back from the printer. But yeah, it's just something, as my Kickstarter progression has gone on, it's been, as I said earlier, 1 to 2 pages, 5 pages, now a complete issue. And actually with this one, I'm well into the 4th issue.
Oh, wow.
We have about 10 pages left to do with the 4th issue. So as I'm running this one, I'm trading notes with the artist on issue 4. So we're well ahead of the game as far as getting stuff done.
That's exciting. So what, everything goes right, and all expectations are met and everything. Like how much, how long is your first arc going to be? Is it going to be a 4-issue arc or 6-issue or?
Yeah, it's 4 issues.
Okay.
And I've actually had some discussions with the artist on a way to continue it. It'd actually be a continuation of the story. The first 4 issues are going to be a complete story with one band, and then maybe the whole operation can continue with another band. So it's a complete story. But yeah, it's interesting to run a campaign, write the 4th issue, and then sort of trade notes with the artist and the creative team about things that we can do in the future. It's sort of a couple of different hats. It's creative hat, it's planning hat, and it's crowdfunding hat. It's just a lot of stuff going on. But as I said earlier, you got to be a weird dude or dudette to want to do this. So it's a lot of time and a lot of going back and forth. And
yeah,
sometimes it's a little difficult to switch from your creative hat to your business hat. So it's just a lot of times it's like, hey, I'm no longer in that mode. I'm in, all right, I'm going to post to various sites, or I need to take a step back and remember what I was trying to do on page 8 of issue 4, because the artist has a couple of ideas, so I need to pull up a document and look at it that way. So yeah, not only is the first issue done, well into the 4th and final issue of this arc.
I like that. Another thing that I like about that too is how, you have faith in it. You have faith in your own passion, your own storytelling, and your own product, right? Like you're like, hey, we're going to do this and we're going to keep doing it. And I'm 4 issues in. All right. I'm going to wear all my fucking hats. I'm going to put all my fucking cards on the table, and you're investing in yourself. Like, I think that's awesome. And that passion seeps through the narrative. I really want to lay that out there. Like, viewers, listeners, people that watch this later, is a really cool comic. Like Metal Eagle is very fun. It's very punk rock. It's a espionage. It's a spy narrative that, it's a non-normative spy narrative. And I've really gotten into spy narratives. Like I recently got into like the James Bond comics. I recently talked to, if you guys go to the YouTube channel, I talked to Cullen Bunn about Red Zone, his new spy comic, which for him is like weird, and he says it gets weirder. And so like this non-normative espionage narrative, like it's a cool niche, right? And I'm glad you went there, and I'm stoked that like we've got future issues coming. You guys, like, what, not to call you out or anything if it's not finished, but like I know Mario, like you sent me oh my God, I Devil Water. Sorry, I had to pull up my notes page, but like Devil Water is, if not all the way done, mostly done. Like you sent me 20 pages, which felt very complete. And that's you haven't taken that live yet. And James, you got the real slobber knocker, and I know you've got some gorgeous art on the page. You got a lot of art on the like some really good like preview stuff. Like is that done? Like, are ready to go too? Like, what do you guys think about that?
No. so, so it's like I'm just sitting here listening. I was like, man, I can't wait to get to me where I'm just like, guess what, guys? I fucked it all up. So no. So what? No. So we'll, yeah. All good, all good. And to be clear,
last episode of Blake's Buzz Live, ladies and gentlemen.
James killed the business.
Yeah, no one's coming back.
Can't follow this one, guys. No, I typically agree with you, Blake and Matt, with like, I've backed a ton of Kickstarter campaigns, so to me it's like, yeah, there is a peace of mind to having the book completely done. But like as a creator, I'm also looking at this as like, well, I want to do this. I'm showing you that I do have skin in the game, that we've got, I think, 7 pages of artwork plus 2 covers for the book. They're done. The script is completely written. It's going to be a 3-issue series. All the scripts are written already. Everything's been edited. It's all ready to go. It's just a matter of like, all right, we're getting through the artwork right now. And, that's where we're at. So it's like, look, we put a good timeline on it. So we've got more than enough time for Dan to wrap up the artwork, for Matt Kratzer, who's going to letter the book for us, to get all done. He's already working on the lettering for the pages that are there. So it's like we're getting ahead as much as we can with it. But like also I put my marketing hat on, and like not for nothing, but I'm making a wrestling comic book, and WrestleMania weekend was April 1st. Matt, I launched my campaign the same day. That's the Super Bowl of wrestling. Like there's no wrestling is not in the lexicon as much as it is for WrestleMania weekend, which is a 2-day event. There's like 12 plus hours of wrestling content just for WWE alone. Wow. Everyone's talking and thinking about that. So yeah, I'm going to put it on there. And, we were funded within 7 hours because of, we launched on like as NXT Stand and Deliver was ending, I launched the campaign. So it's like a big championship match hit launch, and then like, stuff rolled in. So yeah, I put the marketing hat on for that, and, we rolled with it.
I will give you credit though, because I like that you're pile driving a kid, and kids suck. I'm just kidding.
That's a choke slam. Come on.
But I'm looking at like, okay, so like most people don't have this ratio on their Kickstarter. First created 1,146 backed. Like, motherfuck, dude. All right, let's think about this. Even if you back all digitally, if you
I'm mostly, so to be clear, I am mostly a digial backer.
Okay,
with a lot of stuff, because to your point, like I work for PDFs. Like I'm like, it's so much easier to like try out a new creator or something like that with a digital copy. It's like, I can throw $5 here and there, and that's over a course of years with stuff. So yeah, I'm like, I'll try something out, whatever. Like literally, like as we're getting onto this camp, not to like pressure Matt, but like I backed his campaign right as we're launching it. I was like, this looks cool. I'll throw $3 in here for a PDF. Like this is all good, So that's where a lot of that comes from. Yes, but yeah, first created over 1,100 backs. So I think I'm past the super backer stage at this point.
Well, I think super backer is the amount that you do in a certain time. Because like I'm at like 350. Like I thought I was cool, but like I'm just rolling in pig shit. Like
no, don't sell that short. Still all good.
But yeah, it's the same way. Like I started backing a lot digital, and then when I ran out of money, I learned the value of the dollar pledge. Right, when you like really believe in something, and like just to kind of help the algorithm, just a little kind of help the cause.
Every bit helps.
Yeah, and Travis Gibb taught me that about the dollar pledge. He's real big on that. He's like, which is also funny because he does a campaign. He's like Matt, you've been on Travis's show, right? Like when he does when he does his hangout, and he's almost like an auctioneer, and he's like, all right, your campaign's next. You're at $557. He's like, let's get you $560. Who's got $560? Who's got $1? Let's put $1 on this, put $1 on this. $560. Oh, $575. Here we go. Like Travis Gibb gets into this like kind of, he's not that way like as intense as I pretended he was, but that's how he does. Like he very much like he'll like call his viewers out. He'll be like there's 20 people watching, one of you could put $1 down. I'm like, God damh, man, like I kind of want to do that.
Hey, that's a sales tactic. I get it.
I called people cowards one night. I was like I had a campaign page pulled up for like, as I've done a couple launch parties when like people launch their campaign, right, and they're like and like the number doesn't move a lot, and you're like, man, I'm like, I totally fucked up your launch party, man. Like, there's, you just got the Blakes and no Buzz, right? And, and I'm like watching it, and I'm like, back this campaign, you cowards. And I think the creators were like, oh my god, don't call our
different tactics. All good.
You guys, you're trying to get with the neg.
Yeah, you gotta twist it. You make it fun, right? You make it a little bit fun. You make them laugh. But
to your point, Blake, though, like I had to get creative in the promotions for this, which is why like I didn't reach out to you, because I'm like, I don't have a book to send you for this. So like we've been getting creative with stuff and doing like fun stuff on Twitter. Like Dan cut a promo for this, like, nice. And then I'm like, shit, he made a promo. I'm like, I gotta cut a promo, and then they were like going back and forth with it. Like our buddy Matt Sumo got in there, he cut one, and then we're hearing from other people like that looks fun. I'm like, it's really fun to cut a wrestling promo for your comic book.
Yeah.
So like we're getting other people who are like, we want to do this too. I was like, go for it, it's awesome. So like that kind of stuff was like, we got people talking about the book that way and getting people to sign up for the for the pre-launch and stuff, even without being able to send the book. Because I worked in press too for a while, and like I wouldn't look at something if it's like, all right, that's nice, but like I can't go out and say like, oh, this is going to be great if I can't read it myself.
I know. Yeah. If Mario wouldn't have had your back, you wouldn't fucking be here.
I know, man. Like I said before, I'm used to riding his coattails. This is not even the first podcast I've been on. This town, James. His plus one. I got it.
No, it's now okay. So I'm going to walk back my fucking genius Kickstarter know-how statement. All right, I've had a lot of people that had unfinished books. Okay, I'm just as in the Kickstarter scheme of things, right? Like when you're paying a little bit of extra money for a comic, it does make people feel better to say like, oh, it's done. It makes my life a little easier if you can send me a book to read. However, you're fun to talk to and you have comic book experience, right? Not everybody does, James. Like that's the risk. Now I've never had like a dead fish interview, right? Like I'm also just like pat on my back. Like I can get people out of their comfort zone in one weird way or another, right? I'm going to make you fucking talk, right? If you come on my show and you're a little quiet, I'll figure out a way to get you gabbing. But that it's a worry sometimes, especially when you're live, right? Cause it's like, first of all, technology can fuck you. As I saw earlier this week when my voice was detached from my face, and like there's nothing and when in my little window that I get, like when I watch you guys, like it didn't look like that the whole show. I went back to like watch a clip because I felt really good about the interview, and then I was just like, oh no. And it was just like,
Josh Rubin's the man too.
I know, right? And everybody was all excited about it. They're like, oh my god, how'd you get Josh Rubin? And then when people asked me that, I got to be like, they asked me. Guess who else did that? Matt Kent's people. I didn't have to reach out. It was I'm at that level now, guys. All right. So like people come to me and ask to come on my show, right? No, I'm not a prick. I swear to God. And, well, I mean I am, but I'm not that kind of prick. But it's just it alleviates some worry on my end when there's like a finished product, but that there are other people that don't do that. But like I said, like James, you've done a lot of editing, you've worked with a lot of people, like you are very much involved in this industry. It's not like if I look you up and I'm like, who the fuck is this guy choking a kid on his fucking profile page? Like, what is happening? And then also like, I mean that you got like a really dope office. You got do you have every Spider-Man figure ever made? I think behind you. Like
it's most of the Marvel Legends ones. Yeah,
nice.
that's my guy. I just got this one in the mail today. Check that one out. There you go.
Ooh, there you go.
The animated series one. Yeah,
nice.
Came with the Carnage.
I get real quick. Sidestepping it. Everybody excited about the new Spider-Verse trailer. Like I got the tingles. I got the Peter tingles all over. I'm pretty stoked about it. But anyways,
pissed off Comicsgate, so that was even better.
Right? Shout out to fuck Comicsgate because you don't even have to if you want to come on my show and just say that, like you don't even have to have a finished product. Like I'll fucking launch a Patreon tier to like get you $5 a month just because fuck Comicsgate, because fuck Comicsgate. Anyways, but yeah, it's so I'm walking back that statement. It's not a necessary thing. It just makes some.
You got to show the track record.
Easier.
Like that's it. Like if I didn't have it written, if I was just like I got this idea, like that's not enough. Like It did the
My
homework.
friend drew this cover. Look at it.
Not even that. Like, if it's just like I needed artwork, and that's why like I refused to even like talk about it until like we had artwork to show, and it's like, look, we need at least like 5 pages at the minimum. And Dan was the smart one who's like, what if we picked out different pages so it didn't have to be just page 1 through like 5 or 10? Like, I didn't even think about that shit. Like, that showcases more of the book. So yes, that's a brilliant idea. We're gonna do that. And like, we picked out certain key pages of the book so you can really show off the action. And then Dan just like blew it away with some of the artwork in there. So I'm really pumped with what he's done so far.
Yeah, we're gonna pull that artwork up in just a second. We got You Promised Me Comics. What's up? Also, everybody read the little scrolling deal. #static. We're gonna ship internationally, right? We're gonna get it to you. Like, it's a free comic book. It's a cool spooky anthology from Band of Bards. They're from the Static. So like put that #static in there. Let's get this going. Oh, what's up, Sarah? We got another comic book creator in here. They do need something beyond a super backer. Just for James. Just like laying the thunder dick down. I don't even know what you would call it. Like something, man. Like some hardcore shit.
You call Bullet Class, right?
I just like, you know what it is? It's because I don't shut up. And you guys will quickly realize, like, if I don't talk, he's just gonna keep rambling and telling fucking weird story. Like, oh great, he's talking about being a bouncer. God, oh, he's telling his MFA story again. All right, I gotta talk about my comic, or he's just gonna go. So that's how I get you guys talking. Oh, what's up, Brian? Thanks for all right, cool. We got some all right, let's get some entries into the giveaway. And now, after talking about it, let's pull up this really, oh, you motherfucker. God, he lives like on another planet. I'm just kidding, Ronan. I'm just kidding. He lives in Australia.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, all right. So before I scroll, what does slobber knocker mean?
So that was like, look, I grew up in the Attitude Era for watching wrestling, and that was, the announcers were Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler. When Jim Ross saw something like a crazy ass match, he'd call it a real slobber knocker. Like,
all right,
look, these two guys are beating the ever living shit out of each other, right?
Nice.
And like that was when I first had the idea to do a wrestling comic. Like that was the only title I had. Like that was just like what came to mind, and it's like, good
title.
That was it. So like when you either think it's some sort of like, a vulgar act, or you're like, yeah, I remember good old JR with that stuff. So I got a knowing nod from Mario when I talked about this book. He's like, yep, all right, I got it.
That's my experience with wrestling when I was a kid. Like, so like, I remember like the Razor Ramon and Goldust, like, are they ever going to fuck? Like, I remember that. I remember fucking Diesel being awesome. I remember Undertaker. Yeah. I remember Big Show. And then like everybody kind of hated Big Show, and then Big Show talked about how he used to eat toothpaste sandwiches as a kid because they were so poor. And then everybody like loved him. And then I remember Jerry. I remember Jerry announcing, and then Kane, and then oh man,
yeah, that was Degeneration X.
Yeah,
that was the whole thing. Yeah, the Attitude Era.
Dad died,
we killed Owen Hart. Like Kansas City killed Owen Hart. Like. It happened here. Like I didn't go. It wasn't my fault. But I mean, so I feel like someone should have strapped him in. Like it was something fucked up in Kansas City. Sorry.
Remember when Big Show's dad died and they stole his coffin at the funeral?
Oh my god.
Yeah, so, there's a lot of that crazy. Like that's the thing. Like wrestling is just it's a crazy like. It's sports entertainment, but like the fact of the matter is like when there's storytelling in it, like that's what's really key to that. Like, and people will get on and be like, oh well, it's fake. Like, yeah, we know, but like so is Game of Thrones, and like we still watch that shit. Like we still want to get pulled into that story, and that's why like when it goes off the rails, like some of the shit we saw recently, unfortunately, like. It's a bummer, and you're like, you feel like ripped off. You feel like, man, like I was invested in this, and I didn't get what I was expecting to get from this. And sometimes you could even predict that ending and know, like, oh yeah, this person's going to beat that guy, and they're going to become the champion. But even when it happens, because you're so invested, and you know where the ending is, you know where the destination is, but that journey is so much fun. That's what I'm looking for, right? That's that like buzz, no pun intended there, that you want to plug into,
No, you can steal Buzz because I'm gonna steal Slobberknocker. Like that's gonna be like my new review metric. It's gonna be like 4 or 5 Slobberknockers. This was a slobbernocking good time. I woke up today and I was tired from all the slobbernocking I did last night reading these comics. Like no, it rolls off the tongue.
It's fun to say.
It's super fun. But I'm a big fan of this art, right? And I love this too. I love this time jump. Like look at this. We're like this comic ain't even done and we're already establishing a relationship here in one fucking page, ladies and gentlemen. Again, your host can be wrong. It can happen. It's I am a fallible being, right? I'm not the Pope. I'm not the Pope.
I saw your big white coat. Are you sure?
Yeah, and that's all Dan Buxa. Like the guy has really just upped his game with this stuff, and it's just been incredible. I mean that first page alone, like we foreshadow. So like look, the book's about 2 best friends, Brett and Jake. They're wrestling fans like through and through. That's what like bonded them together. And then they come up through the indie circuit together as a tag team called the New Kicks. And right when they get their big break, they get into the big leagues. Something tragic happens that really drives them apart, and they go on very different paths that ultimately lead to the biggest match of their lives against each other, which is what you see on the very first page in the foreshadowing there. But we're going to build up to it. So it's 3 issues. This first issue is that rise, and then we like hit that big event at the end of the first issue, and then you're like, all right, what the hell is going to happen next? So that's really the setup for it. But like you could see, like, you know, we tried to tap into all like the fun, like this is a page of ridiculous gimmicks that like indie wrestlers go through. Like I've been to like local indie shows. So shout out to my buddy Miggs, who was the ECPW, the East Coast Professional Wrestling Hudson Valley Edition champion. Very specific, but like, you know, the gimmicks were like Italian guy, mental patient. It's like this is weird. Like it's like that was like the gimmicks that they had, but like, you know, they got over it with some of this stuff. Like really, like the Italian guy literally came out and he's like, oh look, I'm like, this is weird. Like the guy's wearing like velour trunks. Like it's just very strange.
Have you seen those videos of I don't follow wrestling anymore, but I'm interested. But I feel like a kid, right? Who like we've been out of comics for a long time, and I walk into a comic book shop and I'm like, what the fuck? Or like when some of my friends want me to get into Magic the Gathering, and I went to a card store and I was going to buy some Magic the Gathering cards, and I was quickly like, this is vastly overwhelming, and like. And luckily, like this little card shop in Kansas City, like they could have got me for so much fucking money. Like he was even like telling me, he was like, dude, like don't spend this extra money. Just get like this for now and mess around, and you can come in and play and kind of test the waters out, and then come back later and spend extra money. Cause I was like, no, I want the $40 card case. It's got a magnet in it. But he was like, you don't need it, bud. You don't even know if you're going to keep playing. Anyway, like, so, but you know, I like all the cards on the wall and everything. I was just like, what the fuck?
Well, that could be a lot. Like when I first started like teasing about getting back into wrestling, I got back in 2018, and with the catalyst was my brother Corey, his bachelor party. He wanted to go to a wrestling pay-per-view. So we went out to Extreme Rules in Pittsburgh. But like, even before that, I was like, I don't know, I'm kind of interested. And Mario is like my wrestling guru. And he's like, well, you could subscribe to WWE, and then there's also this thing, and then New Japan is this, and then there's Impact on this day. And I was like, all right, I'm like way overwhelmed already, because I was like, there's a lot to choose from. So I got in on one thing, and I started, you know, casually getting in there, and now like, yeah, I'm following a couple of promotions. I'm in there. I'm like, I'm not watching everything, but like it can be a lot. But you can just like find your wrestler, like who's the person you're into. And I feel like everyone, like you mentioned Razor Ramon before, like I was a Razor Ramon fan too. And it's like, I remember just seeing that his like a first match with him was like, that's my guy. That's it. Yeah. Like got him. Like, that's it. And even like, you know, fast forward to 2018 when I was at Extreme Rules, I saw Finn Balor come out. It's like, that's him. That's my guy. Like, I just like, I quickly identified him. It might be just all of his abs where I'm just like, yes, that's the guy, clearly. But like, you know, you just grab onto somebody and like, you're like, you know, you could follow that person and you just believe in that person. And it could just be a, you know, one unique, they just looked cool. It could mean they did, you know, some sort of cool event. They could have been really excellent on a mic. But there's a lot that they could do there.
Yeah, or spit their toothpick in someone's face. Yeah. I'm just like, God, I want to do that.
Like, man, that's so cool.
I want to do that to some asshole.
Cool. Yeah.
No,
so say, hey, yo.
Yeah, that's it. I still say, hey, yo. Like, it's just stuff comes in. That's it, yeah.
So, right, and like competitive pricing, too. We got $12 for the physical, and you can get $8 for the digital deluxe. And then
yeah, and we have a
$6
variant
just to
cover.
enjoy.
We have a variant cover. Pete Collins, who illustrated the Bardic Verses with our buddy Matsumo.
He did my business
Yeah,
card.
that's right.
He
He
does
did one for me
everybody's
too. Yeah,
everybody's fucking business card.
So what was great too, I reached out to him because I'm like, Dan and I were like, we want to get a variant cover artist. Like, I'm not a big variant cover guy, but then we reached out to Pete because it's like, all right, well, we know he likes wrestling. You know, he's a buddy. Let's see what he can throw together. And he came up with this brilliant idea to do homages to old Pro Wrestling Illustrated covers, and it was like, shit, man. Well, like, one, you just like cemented yourself as the variant cover artist for the rest of the series, because like the characters go through, like, there's an evolution to the characters, so it's looks really great. I'm just like so pumped for that.
Also in a good spot with James Powell as your editor. James Powell edits a lot of really stellar Kickstarters and does his own work too. He does these really great, like, Goosebumps, all ages, like horror
House
stories.
of Fear.
House of Fear, yeah, which is amazing. I think he might hate me because he was gonna come on my show one time and like he missed my email, and so I had to like fill a gap, and then he like messaged me back. He was like, "Oh, sorry," and I was like, "Oh, dude," I was like, I got like 5 people on the show already, and he was like, "Oh, I guess it just fills up that fast, huh?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'm sorry, dude." So shout out to James, who might hate me, but I really like your works.
He's great, and that man is worth his weight in gold, because I reached out to him because this is the longest thing I've ever written by myself. Nice. And I wanted to make sure I did it right, and so I reached out to James as an editor. Like, Mario and I have co-written some stuff together, and that's something where it's like, all right, we're working together as some stuff. Like, but I'm like, this is the longest thing I've written by myself, so I wanted to do that. I reached out to James, and like the book, to put in perspective, the initial pass was 45 pages. After James like gave me edits and everything, I went through and rewrote it, and it doubled in size. So the whole series now is it's 90 pages.
Oh, so
I got 3 issues.
You went long. So usually when they do that, you're cutting stuff. You're like, I said too much. I spent too much time here, but that's cool. That's good.
Because a lot of the questions James brought up was like, I don't get why this guy's reacting this way. This seems like too much, or like an overreaction. And then I was like, oh, well, it's because of this, this, and this. And I was, oh shit, that's in my head. That's not on the page. So I had to go through like all these connections that I had made because I've been staring at the script for so long. I just jumped to each one of those steps, but I didn't fill in those gaps. So I expanded it out, and then like it gave it some room to breathe, and like the emotions hit harder now.
Nice. Well, that's what you want an editor to do. Like that's very cool. Yeah, it's this looks like a great comic. It's also a really, 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 let's do it one more time. Really great time for wrestling comics to come out. They're fucking hot right now. Even for fucking like piddle sticks like me. I don't know why I said that. Even for fucking guys like, God damn it. Even for guys like me that aren't into wrestling anymore. Like fucking Chris Condon did Hell is a Squared Circle and fucking blew my mind. John Lees did Crimson Cage and blew my mind. And then like, I don't know if you guys have heard of this Daniel Warren Johnson guy who just did do a powerbomb, which like fucking like grabbed me by the throat like your child, and then slammed me into a fucking table of feelings and shattered me into a million pieces. And then I had to leave my own body and then collect those pieces and put them back together to experience that. Like that, he does that with all his narratives. Anyways, I just really want him to come on the show. I hope he hears that. Anyway, but it's a great time for wrestling comics, and there's great wrestling comics out there. And it's so weird. There's this huge crossover of wrestling fans and comic book fans. And as someone who spends way too much time on Twitter, it's so weird when like wrestling events are going on, because I'm like reading comics and I'm just like, ooh, I read this cool comic. What are you guys doing tonight? And everybody's talking about these wrestlers and these things that are happening. And I'm just like sitting in the corner watching everybody have a good time. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I made a box of mac and cheese and now I'm sleepy. Like, I don't know.
Join the tribe.
I want to, like, I want to expand, but there's like a couple shows a week, and because like Raw and SmackDown and all that's still going on.
Right? What you could do is go on to YouTube, on the WWE's YouTube channel, and just watch the next day. So like Tuesday morning, you could go on there and just watch like the whole thing in like, I don't know, 20 minutes. And
Blake live it, right? Blake, you pop your cherry of wrestling live on the show. We have second screen experience. We all watch it together.
Yeah.
Let's go. It's gonna be let's do that. Let's make that a Patreon tier. You guys want for $10 a month, you guys can watch me watch wrestling and I'll take my shirt off. Wait, that's the OnlyFans. I get confused with Patreon and OnlyFans. I made a joke a while back on one of these live streams, and I talked about like doing an OnlyFans where I sit around in my underwear and eat hot dogs and watch Attack on Titan, and people like, it was so random, right? People like lost their shit, and of like everything I said, they were just like, how can you eat and watch that show? And I was like, really? That's what you took away from this conversation is me mostly naked eating hot dogs? And you're just like, you can't eat and watch Attack on Titan. It's gruesome. It's fun. Anyway, but yeah, I do want to test the waters and kind of get back into it, but it's also scary too. Cause like I only get like a certain amount of like distractions from Blake's buzz, right? Because it's like I was watching I realized like I've missed like 2 seasons of South Park on HBO since like the pandemic special, and I've been watching like South Park, and then I watch a few episodes of South Park, and then I look at my phone and I'm like, you motherfucker, you still have like 5 Planet Comic-Con video interviews you haven't edited. Like, get your shit together, man. But you gotta take a break even when you feel guilty about it to keep from like burning out, but it's weird. I get like all self-conscious and shit about it, but yeah, I got to be careful about like, just like you watch a movie and then you read like 500 issues of something to prep for an interview. And then like, it's just like, you got to kind of balance it out, but it is very intriguing to me. I used to very much love it when I was a kid. I remember like being a kid, me and my friends mowing neighborhood lawns, like getting $25 a lawn. And cause like back then, like the pay-per-views were like 50, 60, $75, right? They kept like going up. And I remember the other day, my buddy was talking about watching it online. And I was like, I'm thinking, like the way prices escalate and stuff. And I'm like, shit, what do those cost these days? And he's like, oh man, no, you subscribe to Peacock and watch it for free. And I was like, fuck you, man. I was like, we were fucking mowing lawns on 100-degree days in the Midwest to pay for fucking pay-per-view. And it wasn't even in HD. It was on a fucking square TV. And we all like huddle around that. So yeah, these fucking kids today, man, these kids and you guys, they don't know shit. You don't know the struggles. No, anyway, I'm just kidding. But yeah, James, this comic looks really cool, and I'm excited for it. And I hope that I hope you can like attach yourself to the popularity of the fascination of wrestling, even in people outside of the fan circle, right? Like I said, like every wrestling comic I've read has blown my mind. There's really great relationships. It's really fun to see the artists like exercise the action on the page and like how much movement and momentum is in these static images and panel progression. Like it's very hard. It's very hard on your artist. So to find an artist that's cool with doing that too. Like it puts a lot of pressure on them.
Dan's a big wrestling fan too. We went to an AEW show just last night too. So like we're
nice.
It worked out, and doing research for reference for wrestling comics is really easy to do, because like you could just say like, I don't know, that move where they like pick the guy up and do this thing. You just Google around, you could find like 10 videos of someone doing that exact move with an actual name attached to it if you can't remember what it is.
Nice. And then we got Sarah says she's going to share it with her. Yeah, she's got like a tabletop group.
Thank you, Sarah.
Shout out to Sarah's always awesome. Also a great comic book creator. I think they just tabled at their first con too, or one of their first cons. And anyway, Sarah, I'm glad to have you on the show. We miss you. And then John, it's me, man. I know it's what's fun. I've been shaved. I've had a mustache. I just shaved my mustache because I was like, it was like growing into my mouth, and I was like, it's weird. And I like. Like who wakes up in the morning every day and you're like, let's take a shower, you take a shit first, then you take a shower, then you brush your teeth. I brush my teeth in the shower, right? Because I'm trying to like save the planet and not use as much water. Anyways, that's just me. I'm just that kind of cool guy. But after you do all that, who's like, I'm gonna wax my mustache and get it ready
Andy
for
Reid.
the day.
Andy Reid. I mean, come on. The walrus lives.
Yeah, I have been told that I look like a young Andy Reid when I have the mustache. Like people told me I should when I was at Planet Comic-Con, they were like, dude, just carry a clipboard and have your Chiefs hat on, like just be Andy Reid. And I was like, oh, but anyways, yeah, but it's better than being a cop. I'd rather people say like, oh yeah, you look like Andy Reid than, oh yeah, you look like a fucking cop. What are you shoot an innocent person? You fucking asshole. Wear the Punisher badge on you. Don't even know what that means. Piece of shit. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm not, but that really happens. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're trying to keep things positive. Anyways, no one's ever going to come on my show again. I'm fine with it though, because I just put out a Matt Kent episode, and I'm dropping Ed Brisson on Sunday, so like I'm going out with a bang. That's all I got. Anyway, but yeah, James, I'm really excited for this, and I think the art looks great. I think you're doing a great job. And again, walking back my statement about everything I said in the show is horseshit, and I'm wrong.
No, look,
and it's good to be wrong. It's good to be wrong sometimes.
Blake. We're good. All good, man.
No, I think it's the evolution of a Kickstarter creator. I think it's very common for people when the first time they go to Kickstarter is to sort of go with that minimal viable product.
Yeah, that's
1, 2, 5 pages, is to sort of feel it out. And as you continue, you might feel a little bit more confident, and you're like, I want half of it done. I want 3/4 of it done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think that's just the evolution of a Kickstarter creator, is to start small and build up. So
yeah, I've also been hearing horror stories lately of like artists pulling some fuckery like on people, right? And I'm not like, I won't call you, and it's not like artists that like I've ever really heard of, but like I'm in a couple like scene discords, right, where like I'm like fucking behind the scenes. It really sucks that people like talking to me so much, because so many times I do interviews and then like after the interview, like people fucking like as soon as that record button goes off, they just fucking let me have the sauce and like give me all these opinions, and I'm like, man, I was like, I could write an article and charge $5 a month on Substack. People would eat this shit up, but then no one will ever talk to me again. Right. Like I can't do that. And so like, it's people just want to like tell me shit. And so like, I'm in like and I see like these guys talking, they're like, yeah, I prepaid for the, like one person was talking about like they prepaid this artist for like months of work. And then they asked for like images, and they sent them low res images. And they were like, hey, can you send me high res images? And the artist was like, no, the job's not done yet. I'm not going to send you high res images. And he's like, but I paid you. I paid you for all the high res images. Like you could, and so like, and I'm just like, man, like, I don't like, that's terrifying, right? Cause you're shelling out a lot. Art is not cheap. Even if you find a new artist, like that's like hungry and thirsty and ready to do something and maybe even cut you a break. Like page rates are fucking real and expensive, and to shell out a bunch of money and then have someone ghost you or not come through, and I hear those stories a lot too of like, yeah, I paid this artist and then they just left, and like, what do I do? Like, I can't go to PayPal, and they made me pay friends and family. Like, regret that big time. Like I'm like, holy shit, like these stories are terrifying. Yeah. So like that, and so anyways, but yeah, regardless, like, James, I hope your artist doesn't leave you in the dust. I hope I didn't just jinx the shit out of you.
No, I mean, well, again, I literally hung out with him last night, so like, nice. we're pretty good.
There's vibes. There's good vibes.
Like what's I think a lot of that does come to like referrals and stuff too. So like, I think every artist I've worked with so far has been a referral from someone else, or from like a nice. Trusted friend at that. So it's a matter then of not just me like finding some random person, but also being able to say like, hey, I saw your work with this other person. I'd like to do something too with you. Like, what's going on? And then, you get started that way, because otherwise, yeah, it can be a little risky, approaching a complete stranger.
Nice. Well, and I mentioned how the old Blake's Buzz episodes, there was always that one person who I was like, I'm pretty sure hates me the whole fucking show because they're the last one up. And now Mario was here to talk about some comics, and has been so kind and just hanging out and showing off his wrestling belt and reminding us of that Killcella money. And let's cash those Killcella checks, baby. Mario, I finally finished Killcella. And it was so good.
Talking about artists that ghost on you. Fuck.
Yeah, you had some issues with that, right?
Oh, fuck that guy. Yeah. I mean, I hope DC pays him well, because he's never getting a fucking cent from me. Oops, is this
Well,
live?
the final issue still look good, but yeah, like
Thank
that's I do remember Charlie Stickney saying something about it, 'cause when that was still coming out, Charlie was still at Scout, and Charlie was like, yeah, we're going through some issues with the artist there, and I was just like,
Yeah.
it really sucks, man. It aggravates me, Mario, because I do think you're, regardless of what everyone says about you, I think you're a really good guy. Just kidding, Mario. No one's ever said anything bad about him, but I
love that my mom's been on your show. Apparently.
But yeah, you know, I just like I see your hustle. I respect your hustle. Like I love the way you tell stories, man. I think you have a really great eye for weird offset horror narratives, and I'm seeing that with the stuff you recently sent me, and with Kilchella. Like, you did something really cool through the direct market, right? You used and you're also like you're playing direct market games, and you're also playing like Kickstarter games, and you're in the field wherever the ball's coming to you, like right ready to make a play. You know, and like, look at me, I could be a fucking sports announcer. Anyway, like, but you're a talented writer. All you guys are, by the way. Like, I don't want to like just cater to Mario here. You're all very talented and very good at storytelling. And James, I know you've worked with Mario on some stuff, and I also really loved your short. And I love how I'm like kissing your guys' ass like I owe you something. You also like the tales of the pandemic. Like, I really dug. I'll get after. Remind me to go back to your Tales of the Pandemic short. But I want to talk to Mario. I need to talk to Mario because I've left him in the goddamn corner, like for the longest time.
I'm a fan, dude. I feel like I'm part of the show just watching it. You know?
Well, hey, cool, that works. But so you've got the main thing we're here tonight to talk about was Tales of the Pandemic, which is coming out through Band of Bards, which is why we were doing a Band of Bards giveaway, which still not everybody has put #static in the fucking comments. I'm just trying to give you guys a goddamn book. Will you let me give you a book? #static, you fucking slackers. Anyway, damn, man, you gotta yell. You gotta corral these guys. Sometimes you just gotta grab the kids by the throat and choke slam them. James knows what's up. He's dad of the year over here. I'm assuming that is your kid, or is it just a random? She's like, yeah, we paid this kid $5 and some Pokemon cards.
I'm really aggressive crossing guard.
He went on Fiverr. He's like, for $5.
I got a really great idea for a promotional image.
It's like the dirty deeds done right?
Oh my god, you guys are awesome. This has been a fun. I haven't had this much fun doing a show since like last week. And no, I'm kidding. This is I'm such a prick. I'm sorry. This has been fun though. But yeah, so Tales from the Pandemic, as I made the joke earlier, you just like continuously remind us through these small short segments about like how much fun we were all having, like, you know, a couple years ago. And other than the fact of like working from home when I had a job was awesome, right? Like, I loved it. I tell people a lot, you know, I worked in a bar, and I was, you know, weekends and busy nights a week, you know, I was working the door, I was working behind the bar, and my life was busy and crazy and fun. And a lot of nights I would crawl home at 8:00 in the morning, from just doing stupid shit at my boss's house until ridiculous hours of the morning. And then you sleep until like 5:00 in the evening, and you wake up and take a shower and go back to the bar and do it again.
Burn that candle again.
Yeah. It was fun, but like I got tired of it. And so when I switched from bar life to office life, and then from office life to work from home office life, I wasn't that mad about it. I was like, I like the quiet, right? This is cool. And I live a facade, right? So like, I do stuff like this. This feels like hanging out with friends at a bar, having drinks, having a good conversation, even though it's really not. I'm by myself staring at a computer screen, pretending that all you guys are my friends. That's fine though. That's healthy.
You're drinking,
and it's cool.
I'm drinking. All right.
But you remind us of that weirdness, or even of like, I used to get excited of like, I started buying a whole shit. Cause you're not going out. You're not spending money. If you are drinking, you're buying shit from the liquor store, which is immensely cheaper than buying it from a bar. And like, you know, so all this extra money you have lying around, like, what do? You fucking buy, or this is what I did. You buy fucking comic books. You get on eBay Wars. You buy bundles. You buy fucking all these omnibuses that come out, and the fucking mail delivery people, like, they send you these comics to your doorstep, and then you get excited when you get these packages, right? And you're like, it's culture. It's come to visit. Like, and you like live. You find retail therapy.
Yeah.
And now I have more fucking books than you guys. I don't know if you guys see behind me. I've got like Rocket Raccoon and Batman. You know what those are blocking? Stacks of fucking books like a hoarder so that I'm not embarrassed on my live streams because I can't use my green scene anymore. Otherwise, I'm like,
all my books. It's just a taste. I mean,
yeah.
That's it. I did the same thing, Blake. No worries. I'm like, yeah, do I need the entire series of this book?
Yeah.
I don't know. I bought the whole like 21 volume set of Ultimate X-Men. I was like, yeah, sure. I got a deal on it on eBay. Then I got the omnibus. I was like, oh, the omnibus came out. Guess I got to upgrade. And I'm like, I didn't open these trades. What happened?
Yeah, because I was the same. Like that fucking omnibus came out right after. Like I have like the shitty little soft covers. I'm like, what the fuck? They're tiny. They're tiny and flat. Like, oh, fucking savage with these goddamn soft covers. Like, fuck you. Anyway, regardless.
How many soft covers? Like, what's an immigrant?
Feel like a giant.
I'm a white
these
American.
pages.
I read hardcover. I drink Bud Light. Actually, no, we don't drink Bud Light anymore. No, I don't drink Bud Light anyway. But real Americans don't drink Bud Light anymore because Kid Rock told us not to. Also, fuck that guy and his. Well, side note: aren't fully automatic weapons illegal? Did you guys see that video? Like, am I wrong? Does America? Can you just have fully automatic weapons now? Like, I don't know the rules anymore, but I thought that was against the rules.
So did the new founding fathers push the purge through yet, or are we still waiting on that?
I think we're still waiting. We're still waiting. We're waiting for the ball with a ball bill to go through. And then it's gonna go to the bang to bang diggy, and the Biggie said the boogie to jump the boogie. I don't know if you guys ever listened to Kid Rock. That was his first single, and now he's a fucking piece of shit MAGA hat asshole cocksucker. Anyway, sorry. Anyways, Mario makes really good comics. I just get sidetracked because I'm so fucking passionate. But so yeah, I used to buy a lot of books and blah blah blah. And so you write this like critique, not just a reminder of the wonderful times during the pandemic, but like a critique on you know, like, how can we fix COVID with our own cures that Democrats didn't okay? Or, you know, like, well, yeah, that was James. But you know what my favorite one was though was the guy who makes the dummies of his office.
Yeah,
and like he buys the world's best boss cup, right? And he's like, yeah, this is, and he's like so excited that this thing comes in the mail. And I was like, it's like, does Mario have cameras in my fucking house? Like, does this guy know like what I was thinking? And then and he's like, he's doing like the zoom, and like one of the dummies falls over. And like, is that me? And he's like, no, it's just like. Dude, that was so good. And that was like one of the funnier, like that was like one of like the disturbingly funny parts of it. Other like that, like came at a good time too. Cause like a little past midpoint, after you've been like just fucking like crushing our spirits of this like time capsule of a period none of us want to go back to. But how did you do that, man? Like, how did you make me want to read about a part of history that I wanted to forget about? Like it was really smart, dude.
Thank you. So this is actually the 3rd year anniversary of this collection. We put it out for a very, very, very brief window for free online. Like you said, what were you doing with all your extra money? I just decided just to get a bunch of my unemployed friends and put together, it's not an anthology. I call it a comics mixtape because it was all me writing it, just saying, okay, let's just, do this. I reached out to my artist friends, and the ones that said yes, I said, all right, what do you want to do? Do you want to do horror or do you want to do comedy? And most of them went with horror, as you saw, but Joe Hunter was like, let's do comedy. I'm like, all right, we're doing this. Love Joe. He did Beast Hunters, which was a backup, well, with Lampits, which was a backup in Radiant Black, and he's got a couple things coming. But yeah, no, we just, I was living in the moment, and we're just, seeing the world around me. I don't know if anyone knows this. I used to be a comedian, so observation humor was my, my forte, just picking out things in the crowd or what's going on in the world. And this was something at the time that we just put together.
I thought you would have been funnier to talk to. No, I'm just kidding.
You would think so, right? That's why
I'm just an asshole. I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's very pointed and it hurts because it's true. So, but yeah, no.
Your mom and I have like teamed up to just lay into you.
I'm happy she has a friend. I mean, that's great. But,
my mom needs one too. We should have our moms get together and just roast us on YouTube one night. Just be like,
that'd be fun.
Like, oh, I thought my son. Sorry, I told you guys. I always bring it back to me. My family thought I was going to be a scientist because when I was a kid, I knew all the dinosaur names and I could say all these like multisyllabic fucking. Like I was like, oh, I like the Pachycephalosaurus, and people are like, what did this fucking weirdo kid just say? And I was like, the one with the head. And all my family thought I was gonna be a fucking scientist and like dig up dinosaur bones and be like respectable. And like, what happened? I worked at a call center and then fucking quit. And then I was like, I read comic books, and they were like, oh, that's just not what we thought. So yeah, we need to get our moms together. Anyway, sorry, Mario. Go back to your story.
We started watching wrestling. JR started talking about puppies and slobber knockers. All that out the window. But yeah, no, like I said, it's just living in the moment. Band of Bards has been awesome to work with. We were talking for a bit, trying to see what we can do. And I was like, hey, I have this dormant property that we put out 3 years ago for a very limited time just to make it for fun. And, they thought it'd be a good opportunity to revive it, but also put some new content in there. I was originally going to write 3 more stories, but I just couldn't at the time. So I reached out to some buddies, James, I'm always going to reach out to him, and Matthew Sumo. And, I was like, all right, guys, I can't do stories. Can you guys make some more? So they created some pretty cool, I call them interludes in, in the collection.
Yeah. I really like the way the book is designed really well. Like the table of contents, the interludes, like outside of just the storytelling perspective, like the structure and the collection itself is very well done. Like it's a beautiful book, and I love the cover. The black and white art really sings. I used to complain a lot about black and white art, but I've recently like really gotten into manga and like I just realized that like colorists are very important and another tier of like comic booking that often gets like kind of tossed aside and people don't talk about enough. But I'm not. It's like I just tell like colorists are important, but you don't need them. That's not what I want to say. But I just, what I'm saying? Like
different ideas.
Yeah, it's different. It's a
not every story needs it.
Yeah, and you can really appreciate the like line work and the inking and like the artist can shine in a different way, right? Which is funny because a lot of us pay a lot of extra money for like those artist editions, right? Which are like oversized, no colors, just the inking on like the page, and you pay like $150 fucking for it, and it's like. Or we can have a colorist do this and you can pay $20 for the trade. It makes no goddamn sense. The comic books make no sense anyways, but the package is beautiful, Mario. And like I said, just a big fan of the table of contents, the interludes, the story progression, how it gets a little heavy, but then you pull it back in tone here, in a couple places. And it often, even in the darker notes, made me laugh when you always do your little like, the little like Tales from the Crypt pun in the end where you're like, this is what happens in the pandemic, or like,
own piece. Yeah.
This is the way your life falls apart in the pandemic. You shouldn't have thrown your trash on the street during the pandemic. Like, it fucking got me, man. I was just like, it was like the repetitiveness, and it was great. And yeah, it was very, like I said, very impressive on how you take this time that a lot of us want to forget about, make us think about it differently, put a really great horror spin on it. And sometimes comical, sometimes sometimes it's dark, right? Sometimes it's very political. And I love how political you guys get. I mentioned James's story earlier, and I guess I'll throw that story in. When I was working, we had one of my coworkers missed almost a full year of work. It was like long-term COVID, but she wouldn't get the vaccine.
Oh.
Right. And I remember when they brought us back into the office, like 1 week a month, like they would bring one team in for 1 week a month to like I still don't know. So they could spy on us, I'm pretty sure. And so like they brought us in for this 1 week, and I remember like I'm just working. It's kind of slow. Like, but I used to schedule home inspections for home inspectors all over the country. It was a call center, but it was a very niche call center, and it wasn't like, I never cold called anybody. It was like I had to pretend we were local. Like when people called in and like they very much thought they were calling someone's like a small business company's office. So we had to like pretend we were local, and it was like it was a fucking ordeal. Right. And I was oddly good at it. But anyways, the company took a big fat shit on my chest and I didn't like it. Long story short, I don't work there anymore, but we're in the office and it's slow and people are talking and she's like, everybody's like, we wear masks. Like when you're at your cubicle, you don't have to wear a mask. But when you get up and move around, like we all decided that we would feel more comfortable if people wore masks. And so like this person is talking and she's like, yeah, it's just my health issues. I can't get the vaccine. And she's like, but my doctor gave me a lot of ivermectin, and I like spit my fucking water out. I was like,
What?
Like, you're taking horse pill? Like that fucking like weird. Like I saw like the weirdo news shit like happen in real life. Like that they were like taking horse medicine to like fix COVID. And I was like, fuck my life. Like you're making me work in an office with this person who's just like a sponge for fucking germs and contamination, who's taking horse pills because like she can't get a fucking vaccine. And so, yeah, James, your story really spoke to me in my past trauma.
Yeah,
because I was like, I lived this. Oh my God, I lived this. And like, it was like terrifying. Both of you guys like made me relive some hardcore trauma, but I liked it. It was good.
I am a proud Papa Bear watching James come up. I've known James for years now. He's been seconding me on a lot of projects, watching it's like a documentary and watching all the heartache and issues. I told James, if I can't be a good influence, I at least want to be a cautionary tale of what not to do. So yeah, no, I'm really proud of him coming up. I mean, just your first book in previews?
Yeah. So like I had my name in it. It was weird. I was like, holy shit! Like look at that. So yeah, it was first book in previews for that. So that was exciting.
Nice.
I'm happy you could join me on this.
Yeah, like I said before, Mario, I'm happy to ride your coattails whenever I can. So
yeah. That's why I made you guys wait an hour and a half to really sell your comic.
I have a question.
What's up?
Do you feel that like blending the comedic elements and the horror elements of COVID were things that people wanted to do? We were all scared. We were all sort of alone talking to people on computers, but we were all sort of, seeing the silliness of certain things, runs on toilet paper, things like that. Did you find that like therapeutic to sort of blend the comedic aspects of it with the everyday horror of it?
Yeah. Thank you, Matt. That's a really great question. All seriousness, I'm gonna drop my character here. I do a lot of ball busting when I'm nervous to break up tense situations. It puts a lot of heat on me during family times because I will say inappropriate things when everyone's trying to be serious for something. But that's just the way that I do my coping in the moment when something is heavy. If something's awkward, I'll throw inappropriate jokes. If something is weird or sad, I remember especially when my dogs died, I was definitely dropping jokes. But yeah, no, I mean, so finding the humor in things to help keep laughing is how I keep going. Because otherwise, I would probably not be here or be a real rage monster. So, I'll probably end up dying laughing like the Joker. But I'm happy you brought up toilet paper because there is a panel in the Tales of the Pandemic where a guy gets hit in the head with a roll of toilet paper because of the runs. Not the runs on toilet paper. I should clarify on that. Yeah, no, thank you. Peel back the curtain. I am a real person with feelings. I just hide them behind humor like Roman Roy from Succession.
But not as rich. None of us are that rich, unfortunately.
I mean,
well, he does have that build. No, all of these guys are actually real people. I'm not. I'm a figment of your imagination. This never really happened. The reason I don't have facial hair is because I'm a ghost. I don't know where
it makes sense. There's nobody named Blake Buzz anywhere in the birth certificate.
Yeah, oddly enough, a lot of people don't know this. That's not my real last name.
No shit. You catfishing us, bro?
Yeah, totally. But no, I really like what you said, Mario, because my dad used to say that. So my dad and I have a really sick sense of humor. My dad was a bartender, right? And which is why I wanted to work in a bar for a long time. And, let your life turn into a clusterfuck and turn 21 when your dad is a bar manager at a bar, like not far away from your house. Like, they never let me pay for even the bar owner. Like, I remember like some nights being there at like 4:00 in the morning, like just drinking fucking Crown and Coke, like my head like almost on the bar, like nodding in and out, and like trying to pay my dad like for the bar tab. And this guy Stu Gentry, who owned the bar, rest in peace, he's not with us anymore, but he would be like next to me, and he would drink Jameson. He would sip Jameson all night. And I would like try and pay, and he'd be like, you don't fucking pay for anything here, you fucking idiot. And I'd be like, sweet, awesome, great. And like, just like, but that was like from when I turned 20, like when I had my 21st birthday party, man, like no one charged us anything. Like all my friends came up, dude, we were like, give us 20 rock lobsters. And like the waitresses were like, fuck these people. And
what even is that?
It's Chambord Crown Royal and cranberry juice. Is delicious. Oh my God, it's so delicious. It's bad delicious. Anyway, but yeah, so I don't remember what I was talking about. Fuck, like we were yeah. Anyways, my dad was a bartender, and he had a ridiculous sense of humor. When did you guys watch Deadwood?
Yes.
When it was on, like when the bartender would call everybody cocksuckers, Swearingen, and he'd be like, you cocksuckers. My dad would do that in real life. People would come to the bar and like they would like order drinks, and my dad would like, this is back when you could smoke cigarettes at the bar, right? So like my dad has 3 ashtrays on both ends of the bar and the middle. Each one has a fucking Camel filter burning in it, so that like wherever he goes, he can grab a cigarette and take a puff. And he's bouncing around the bar, and like people would sit down, and he'd like throw coasters on him, like, what do you cocksuckers want? And they'd be like, a gin and tonic. And like it was like he called everybody cocksucker. Anyway, but he had a very great sense of humor, and he taught me something at a young age, which maybe wasn't a good dad maneuver, but it got me into some good places. But he was like, hey, laughter is important, and if you can make people laugh when they're sad, if you can make people laugh at a funeral, they're going to remember you forever, and they're going to appreciate you forever. And I took that to heart, and it's very true. When you can look in the face of trauma and make a joke about it, and make other people laugh with you, there's nothing like that in this world. Maybe being a millionaire, I don't know what that, like, that's the only other, just shit that I'll never be able to experience, like real pure cocaine that didn't get stepped on by the time I got to Kansas City. It's something like that, but if you can make people laugh when their heart's broken, like, you got something special inside of you. And I see that in your stories, man. Like, it just rings, it rings out even in Kilcello, when like everybody's fucking dying and it's weird, and it's just like, you still like, there's parts of it where you like feel dirty reading it, and you're like, I still kind of want to be at this party. Like, what is wrong with me? Why is Mario making me still want to like be here with these fucking beautiful weirdos? Like, but I will say that like I would have been safe, because there were no fat people in that book. It was just all beautiful people that couldn't outrun anything, and I would have been the fucking fat dude, like mixing Molly and fucking and Trip, and just like candy flipping in a corner, just like let's watch these beautiful people kill themselves. I'm cool. But no, it's I see that, and I like that story you told, because that makes you a great storyteller. And also that's why I like talking to you. Like, I don't know if Mario and I, we don't like talk all the time and like tell people stories, but like we talk on Twitter a little bit. We've gotten to know each other over him being on the show a few times, and just like watching his career progress and watching him, tell these cool stories and try and get things done the way he wants to. And it's just like, it's cool to see. That's one of the coolest parts about what I do. I made the joke about like working for PDFs, but what's really cool is watching you guys like put yourselves out there on Kickstarter or in an anthology, right? And then seeing you guys break into the direct market, and then seeing you guys get these other deals, and watching you succeed and doing what you do, even though I'm left behind doing these fucking interviews forever. No, I'm just kidding. But,
I'm dragging you with me, man. Come on, you kidding me?
Yeah, you were talking about that anthology you got invited to pitch to, man.
No, I do. I have to. Yeah, it's not invited. I have to have a 2-page script done by Sunday, or someone's gonna get mad at me. But
there you go. So you're in it, man.
What about that one tweet thing that we had the other day? I can't pull back the curtain too much, but that's something. Oh, can I say the news about Coachella with you?
You can say whatever. It's your show, technically,
your
right
show.
now.
Come on.
Well, I mean, it's my show, but it's your segment.
Blake did an amazing review, and we decided to give him the pull quote on the trade paperback. So,
Oh wait, I didn't. Am I really going to be on the trade? I thought I was just on the Schuster website. The Simon and Schuster website.
You're on both.
Nice.
Yeah, I wasn't fucking with you. Come on,
dude. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I keep getting pull quotes on shit, and I'm just like, what is happening? Like, it's crazy, man. Like, I went to By the Horns when By the Horns relaunched for their second arc. They put my pull quote on the cover, and I went to a comic book shop like here in town and picked it up. And like, I was with my dad, talking about my dad. Like my dad, we went and got lunch, and he drove me to this comic book shop, and we went and picked it up. And my dad cries a lot. Like my dad used to be like this crazy bartending wild man who like one night he pulled a Derringer out of his back pocket. It's this biker dude. You guys want to hear more Blake stories? This biker guy grabs my dad my dad's real short, right? I'm like 5'11". My dad's like 5'4". And no one really understands where I came from. I'm a very large person in my family, like wide and tall. And like this fucking guy grabs my dad when my dad used to bartend, grabs my dad by the throat, throws him against the wall. And he tells my dad, he's like, I'm going to fucking kill you. My dad used to carry this little 2-shot Derringer in his back pocket, right? And my dad pulls out this Derringer. This is a pistol, if you guys don't know. For listeners, it's a little it's got a little 2-barrel. It's like 2.5 inches long. It's should so be illegal. It's like so tiny, and you can put 2 bullets in it and cock it, and it shoots 2 bullets at the same time. And my dad pulls his loaded Derringer out, shoves it into this biker's ball sack, and he goes, you can kill me, but I'm going to blow your dick off. This is who my dad used to be. And now my dad is obsessed with our new puppy, and he like talks to Bruce, our new dog, and he cries a lot. Like, he gets real emotional and he cries. It all happened. Like, my dad had heart surgery a few years ago, and ever since his heart surgery, he gets like a little more emotional, thinks about life differently. But yeah, so I've watched my dad evolve into this like weird person, and it really affected like who I am. And basically that's how Blake's Buzz happened, ladies and gentlemen. If my dad wouldn't have threatened to blow this guy's dick off, I don't even know if I'd be here right now. I don't know. Who knows what would happen. But yeah, anyways, back to Mario and his God damn it. I'm on one tonight, guys. I'm sorry. I'm really excited. You guys are all really easy to talk to, which is bad. When you guys are easy for me to talk to, it means none of you get to talk ever. But yeah, I just Mario, your comics make me feel like my dad shoving a gun into some dude's dick, and it just is. It's real wholesome and vibrant and exhilarating.
Mario, is it too late to change the quote that you're going to put on the Kickstarter? Because I think that might be the new one.
Can we get that right now? Publishers on the line?
I'll edit this and pull it and make it a YouTube short later.
Can we put that on Tales from the Pandemic? Is it too late? I think it might have went to printers, but let's do it.
Stop the presses.
Hit up Tim. Is Tim watching right now? Tim, like,
we have a fuck up. We need to change.
Yeah, we gotta go back to reprint. We'll release it at the end of May. It's fine. Hey, thanks, Philip. We got a lot of great people in the room tonight. I can't believe they've put up with my shit for an hour and 43 minutes. Good God.
Philip's an awesome creator in his own right,
Yeah,
too. I don't want to sell him short.
I agree. I'm in a lot of groups with Phil.
Phil's the third person in our 4-person group with James and I.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And Matt soon will be in the fourth. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you guys got to bring. Now I feel left out. You guys got to bring me into this group so I can pick up all the sauce. I'll just pop in every now and then with real cool Blake's Buzz stories and then just leave.
I'll get you in there, man.
But no, man, I really can't sing your praises enough, dude. Like I like your punk rock fuck everybody attitude
no, that gets you in trouble.
Okay, but you're not always like that though. But you're like that when like you told me recently, you were like, things need to change, and I'm gonna make it change, and I'm gonna do this, and you were like, can I come on your show and help make it happen? And I was like, I mean, man, I don't know, like, okay, like now you see what happened, so I don't know if it was a good idea or not, but but I like that there are so many people, Mario, that like. When things don't go their way, and I've been guilty of this too, when things don't go your way, you just kind of shut down, and you're like, well, maybe I'm lucky to be here, right? Like maybe other people have had to deal with this too. Maybe I should just accept this, right? And I like that when not to accept that. When you're like, no, this could be different. I could do it better. I'm going to do it better, and that's a rare trait in humanity. And I like that you have that. And I think that makes you a better storyteller. And I think that's why I like your fucking comic book so much. And that's why you took a pull quote from me and put it on your comic. Cause people ask me for pull quotes a lot sometimes, and sometimes I do feel like maybe they are a little bit forced to keep it from feeling forced. When people ask me for pull quotes, I usually give them I think I'm the only weirdo who does this. If someone only asks me for a pull quote, I give them 6 or 7, lines, and I kind of I read the comic, I get hyped up about it, and then I type a few pull quotes together and I send them, and I'm like, mix and match or pick your favorite. There you go. Because I feel like if you just do one, it might be kind of forced and fake. And Mario didn't ask me that. Mario just put out this really great first issue of Killcella that inspired me, and yes, I'm a good writer. Yes, I write good reviews. I write good reviews when I'm inspired by a good comic. The mechanics all have to align, right? The wheels are greased, and everything has to come together in a good way. And that's what happened with Killcella. I read that first issue of Killcella and I was like, yeah, this is different. This is a slasher. This is a slasher comic with some really great new age commentary, or some really smart writing, some all these characters are kind of assholes, but I still care about them. And they remind me of my asshole friends, right? That I'm ashamed of sometimes, but I don't want them to die horribly, and you put that in your script and made it real. And it really sang to me, and it made it easy. It made it easy to write that review and lift you up as a good writer, and lift your asshole artist up who ditched you apparently too, which sucks. I guess I need to rewrite the review. I need to okay. Go back and edit it for the finished product. But no, man, thank you. I'm glad what I said resonated with you, but your comic resonated with me and is the only reason I was able to do that. If I was just fucking bored and just trying to review a Scout comic, it wouldn't have came out like that. It's I got to be excited about stuff. This whole night tonight, I know it's a mess and it's weird, and you guys are we've almost been here 2 hours. Blake, you won't shut the fuck up. But all you guys inspired me and got me excited about comics, and that's what makes my show good. That's what makes me a good host is when you guys have a good product, and when you guys are fucking talented, and when you guys can tell a great story, and you can make me think about stories differently. When you can, guys, I get more comics a week than I have time to read. And I'm always scared saying that because I'm always scared people are going to take me off their press list. But like, I don't know if you guys knew this. I'm one person. I don't have a team of writers, right? Like it's me. And I do the podcast, I do the live streams, and I write reviews when I can. Now I'm trying to fucking do these YouTube shorts because that's what everybody wants because no one has a goddamn attention span anymore. And it takes fucking 30 minutes to edit a 1-minute video, but whatever, that's fine. I'll keep doing it because I fucking love you guys. Anyway,
thank you.
But you know, if you guys weren't good storytellers, it makes my job impossible. If you can say whatever you want about me, but I will die authentic, right? I will live my life as a clusterfuck and I will die as a clusterfuck, but I can't make a bad comic good. You guys will know. I can't hype it up. I don't get passionate about it. I don't get excited about it. And my viewers can hear that in my voice. Like people that watch a YouTube short can hear that. People that watch this live stream now or later. And some of you still haven't put hashtag static in, you motherfuckers. Anyway, but I can't fabricate that. And so Matt, James, Mario, like I really want you guys to know, like, I appreciate you putting up with my bullshit, but the reason you're putting up with my bullshit is because you inspire me and get me excited to talk about comics. And that's what makes this fucking motorboat run. And so it's your fault. All of this is your fault because you're good at your jobs.
But that comes back to what we talked about in the beginning about like, why do we do all this in the first place? Is like, I don't know, we just want to tell stories and get that kind of reaction. Like, that's it. Like, that's what everyone wants. They want the reaction that you display is what everyone's looking for when they're making literally anything.
I'm really glad I finally am what everybody wants. Thank you, James. I'm going to print that out. I'm going to hang it on the refrigerator. It's going to be great. It's going to be right next to the Matt Kent quote when he called me a good writer. And then right next to the clip where I made Mark Russell laugh. They're all going to go together. No, I appreciate, and I want you guys to just know that like absolutely for real. And yeah, Mario, like back to this, not an anthology, but a collection of your shorts, the Tales from the Pandemic. It really, like, I want more people to know about this. Like, I really do. We all experienced this. We all felt that lonesomeness and that fear. The fucking fear, man, that fear of like, am I going to get sick? Am I going to get the people I love sick? Am I going to die?
Like,
am I going to die? Am I going to fucking take a shit and not have toilet paper to wipe my ass with? You know, like, is it going to chafe? Is it going to itch? What happens if I scratch my ass and get shit on my fingers? Oh, we're like all the unknowns.
Oh, geez. Oh, man.
But you brought all those emotions, as weird and stinky as they are, you brought all that back to the forefront, and you brought us right back to fucking ground zero of the fucking chaos that we dealt with, and made it weirder, and you made it fun, you sick fuck. How did you like?
I couldn't do it alone. You know, I had a great team behind me. Danny Earls, champion winning soccer player Danny Earls, who is now a huge name for DC and Marvel and Image. Weird, but yeah, he did the intro and outro. I don't know if you like those. He put himself into the freaking book. I was like, "Oh, is this you, Danny?" He's like, "Yeah, it's me." I'm like, "All right."
No,
cool.
I liked all, like, everything. There's no weak link. Like, I did have some favorites, but there's in the, what is it, 36 pages, 30ish pages,
32, yeah,
32 in the 32 pages. Like, I found no weak links, right? It was all fun, and but it's just like it was, I feel like, as a creator, as someone who writes and who knows like storytelling mechanics, like, I just can't imagine like the weight, right? Even like, you're just trying to like exercise something and like make something out of nothing, make your trauma explosive and try and universalize that, right, to your brand and your audience, all these things that you did. But it's not an easy feat, right? But when you read this, it feels really organic. And if I say that too much, I say organic. I need to find a new word than organic, but like it just feels very like cohesive and natural. And it never feels, the only time it ever feels like you try hard but it adds to the punch is when you go like, in the pandemic, like when you add that line, but as every story goes on, like you as a reader, you find yourself waiting for it and like anxiously waiting for it. You're like, why hasn't it happened yet? Is it going to happen? If it doesn't happen this time, I'm gonna be mad. And it's like you play this weird game with your audience. And so anyways, man, you're just real fucking talented. I kind of hate you because you're so talented, honestly. Like I wish I could write like you can. Like I wish I could write a slasher comic that talks about new age music and herd mentality and how easily we are herded into cultish shenanigans and how fallible our human influence is to just like, did you just push it a little bit and we'll be like, yeah, I'll go this way. Oh, I'll fucking murder 5 people for you. Yeah. That's
easy.
fine.
Stan culture is a real thing. I mean, I was just, one of my favorite shows is Vanderpump Rules, and there was one of the cast members was cheating on another cast member, and now people are talking about they're going out and fans are vandalizing the bar that these guys own because it got so deep. You know? It got on CNN News. That's how big it was, and that's just culture. Yeah. So, but
right, so I want to play the ignorant host real quick. You guys said Philip is one of your co-creators.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so like teach me and the audience, like, does Philip have a book? Like, I feel really bad. I don't know who Philip is. Watch, like he's been on my show before and I already forgot about him or some fucking crazy shit. I just shit the bed hard. Philip's like, I followed you for 5 years, Blake. I'm on your Patreon. I'm taking my pledge back.
So James can do this easier, like better than I can, but Phil is one of the hardest working guys in comics promotions for any book that he's a part of. He does
even books he's not a part of. That man was pushing my Kickstarter like more than I was, and like, you know, like the second or third day I was like, shit man, like I didn't update yet, like what's going on? Like, and he's like how many more backers can we get today? I was like, holy shit, like I'm behind on my own marketing.
So he's the guy that when publishers complain that creators are not promoting their stuff, they don't mean him. He's the exception to the rule. I mean, this guy is hardworking. His stories are really good. He's starting to pick up some stuff here. I feel bad he wasn't on Tales of the Pandemic, but I only had 6 pages. And I was like, all right, what 2 people can I bring in? But yeah, no, Phil, I would be surprised if 2024 hits and Phil doesn't have his own, you know, single story coming out. And Matt, you said that, you know, Phil is involved in a lot of groups. I'm sure he's one of your top 10 cheerleaders, right?
Yeah, we definitely follow each other. Now I know who he is. I'm an asshole.
No,
I didn't recognize his last name. Dude, Phil, I'm sorry. I'm a dickhead. I'm such a dick. I just looked at him like oh my God, this is why I shouldn't drink on stream. Like I was like, oh, I know this guy.
That's him.
Let me just show all my DMs real quick.
Oh no, what's happening? What was that here?
There's all that tea he was talking about.
Yeah.
Shit.
He also has a Facebook page with anthologies that he curates very
nice. Yeah.
Like nearly every day, you can expect to see like an opportunity or an update on something with that page.
He says I'm a supporting character.
No way, dude.
Main event player. Yeah. Phil, I keep telling, like, I'm like, Phil, when's your anthology? When's the Philology? Because like that guy's he's like Mr. Anthology. Like he's got tons and tons of books out there of his names in books because of like all these great short stories that he's written. So
what do you guys like? Let's bring it back in. Let's bring it real quick. Right now, anthologies are a tricky business, right? Because we've had some irreputable, is that a word? Did I say that right? Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. You guys know what I'm saying. We've had some drama in the anthology field. And I even know there's a handful of other hosts that I know that have said that they aren't going to talk about anthologies anymore unless they really know like the people and have had previous success, just because like I mentioned earlier when I said how shitty it is to not have a finished product and really ate my own words, but the the anthology aspect's a little different because like the price points are a lot higher, and like, you know, and I love that the price points are higher because that means like you guys are getting paid, like the people that work on it. And so we're like trying to raise all this money, and then there's been a few people that like just like bailed on, like took the money and ran, or like what happened with the money, and we're left with this like vacant space of like what happened, like how do you like there was $25,000. Where did it go? Why can't you print the book? Like we've seen this happen, and
I can't talk on that because I'm part of one of those books.
Yeah,
so there's some stuff
that makes you
like just want to disclose that.
All right, because I was like that kind of makes you.
Mario, do you want to clarify that Tales from the Pandemic is not to be confused with a particular other
the Tales from Quarantine? Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Very different.
Yeah, it's Tales from the Pandemic is a one-shot, 32-page, ready for direct market, ready for print. You're going to get it early May. It's going to happen, right? You guys can, well, FOC maybe missed it, but like, you know, I don't know if you guys knew this, like FOC is kind of a big deal, but if you still tell your shop, like, all right, don't get mad at me, but if you tell your shop after the fact and still try and pre-order it, you can still sometimes pre-order it. You can also pre-order it through the Band of Bards page. So there's ways of you, if you were a fucking slacker piece of shit and you didn't pre-order it when you were supposed to, sorry, I love you. Thanks for listening and watching the show, but pre-order your goddamn comics. If you missed the pre-order, you can still try and get it done, but this is going to happen. Right, this comic is done. It's finished. It's actually already gone. It had to have already gone to print. Like it's got to be like, it's too soon coming out. It has to be printed and like ready to distribute. Not like that other Tales of thing at all. No. Right, if that makes sense to everybody. If I need to like, if I need to get even more intense, I will. But I'm just saying, like Mario's all right. If you. We all appreciate sex, right? Like sex is fun and invigorating and makes us feel good. Mario's comics fuck real hard, real good, and they'll make you breakfast in the morning, right? Like they'll wear you out in the middle of the night, and then like you'll wake up to like a nice little home-brewed cappuccino and maybe some biscuits and gravy, or maybe like a homemade cinnamon roll. I don't know, like one of those things. The other comics, they fucking like stole your fucking purse, your cell phone. They lifted the cash out of your wallet. They also like took your kidneys and then sewed you up and threw you in a bathtub full of ice and then left you there with a note saying like, call 911 or you're going to die. So you can go to Mario's comic for a nice biscuit and gravy breakfast, or you can go to this other one and be in a bathtub full of ice and die. And that's
that's your new pull quote, Mario.
That's it.
It's gotta be just a wall of text.
The full back cover.
Wall of text.
Like you're bleeding in a bathtub.
Your whole back cover.
Back to just you're bleeding in a bathtub. Yeah.
That's funny.
That's what I'm here for, guys.
It's like your brain on drugs, except comics, right?
Your brain on drugs, except it's Blake's head. Blake's brain. It's Blake's brain on Buzz.
The segues on this in this conversation are unparalleled.
Matt Kent said I was a good writer, everybody. I just want to throw that out there and remind everybody. And the quote that Matt liked, I'm just gonna like fuck it, like who cares? Like you guys, I've kept you guys here so long, you can't leave yet. When I gave Matt the quote, I told when I like played it back because Matt was like send me that quote, like type it up, like I like it. And when I listened to it, I said fuck like 18 times. I was like, you're fucking comics, man. It's like you take a fucking seed and you plant that fucking seed. Actually, you don't even fucking plant it. You fucking germinate that seed. And that seed fucking germinates. And then you put that fucking seed, take that fucking seed, you put that fucking seed in the fucking dirt. And then that fucking grows into a plant. And it grows a fucking fruit. And you take a bite of that fucking fruit and it fucking squirts all over your face. And you're like, that's so fucking delicious. And even though like it got the fucking juice all over my fucking shirt and it's my favorite shirt, but like it stained it, but I don't care because your fruit's so fucking good. I said fucking like 18 times and Matt was like, I want people to talk about my comic books like that. It's like, no, you don't.
I'll have
No,
what
you
you
don't.
say.
You can't put that on a back cover. You can't put that on Simon and Schuster. You can't do anything like that. Anyways, Matt Kent thinks I'm a good writer. These guys, I don't know. We'll talk about it later.
This is wild.
Hey, you guys signed
Set it
up
up
for
on
it.
a Thursday.
Not my.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking Thursday. I'm unemployed. Every day's a Friday. Anyways, remember when I was talking about how great and talented you are, Mario? Let's go back to.
Okay.
Let's go.
Thank you. No, I mean, yeah, I sent you the link for the previews page if you can toss
Yeah, we
that
can-
bad boy up.
I know,
But
I know.
yeah, I mean, I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those last minute assholes who tells my shop, "Hey, there's a book that's coming out in 2 weeks. Maybe can you get it for me?" So, and yeah, they always slip it in whenever they can, if it is available for order still. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, here we go. Here, let me put on my. I haven't done my movie theater. I haven't done my movie trailer voice in a while. An anthology of 8 stories to mark the 3rd anniversary of the COVID-19 pandemic. Oh, wow, the 3rd. You counted the anniversaries. Wow. Yeah, I'm sidetracked. An anthology of 8 stories to mark the 3rd anniversary of COVID-19 pandemic. While the world continues to try and make sense of these events, an extraordinary group of comic creators tell their tales in an attempt to express their feelings and experiences. Pre-order this now, or you're a prick. In a world. But no, it's, ladies and gentlemen, for real, it's a great anthology. Like I make, or it's not an anthology. What'd you call it again?
I call it a mixtape.
Mixtape. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
learned from
a really
hip-hop.
great comic book mixtape. This is like when you're in like 6th grade and you got a crush on Sydney Hirsch. I'm not getting a little real personal here for a second, but you give her a tape with Goo Goo Dolls as Iris, just recorded over and over and over again on it on both sides, and writer really loved. Yeah, wow, I just really threw myself
It's on
under the
loop.
bus here.
Wow.
Yeah, I put it on loop. But didn't want the world to see me, and wanted her to know who I am. I don't know, those are kind of the lyrics anyway, but it's a good mixtape, and it really does. It reminds you of the parts of humanity that you wanted to forget. And in doing that, it reminds you to be a better human, of the elements of this, of the critiques of how some people experienced and manipulated the pandemic and those around them is a very real thing, and it was a very real problem, and it actually still exists right now. It's still going on. The mask mandates, and the, what are they called when they give you the shots? The
Vaccines.
Boosters?
the vaccines. Thanks. And fuck, man. Anyway, these are things that we had to really deal with, and this comic book reminds you of that in a really invigorating and fresh way. And also it also reminds you of like what you should believe in, right? Like how important the importance that you give the information given to you, and how dangerous that can be.
Mm-hmm.
And how we all dealt with that for years. And now we're dealing with that in a totally different way, and with new topics and new craziness and in our everydayness as human beings. But yeah, this is a really smart book, and Mario is a smart writer, and I'm pretty sure the pull quote that he took from me says about the same thing. Is he's a smart writer. He's able to take tropes of people that make us uncomfortable, make us aggravated, make us wish that we didn't know these people, and remind us that, like, oh, we do know these people. Sometimes we love these people. Sometimes we have these people in our lives and don't even realize it. And that's what this comic book mixtape does, Tales from the Pandemic. And I'm really glad Band of Bards, I'm glad that you reached out to them, because they are doing like, they're taking risks. They're doing like non-normative comic books, and this is one of them. At a time when things get weird and dicey for indie publishing, and I do appreciate that they they take the right steps to focus on certain indie books and take them under their wing and try and make it happen. And so yeah, $6.99, folks, it gets you all of this. Like you get like $6.99. That's what's $7? What are you gonna do with what are you gonna do with fucking $7? You're gonna buy a fucking bag of tortillas, maybe some shredded cheese? No, you're not, because you just got to like $8.99. That's not even $6.99. You can't even make a cheese quesadilla with this. All right. $6.99 is going to give you a really great, like 40 minutes of fucking storytelling that you're not going to get anywhere else, that no one else has the fucking guts to say like Mario does. So you need to do that. You need to buy it. And if you don't buy it, I don't want to say fuck you, but part of me wants to say, I won't say it. I'm just kind of floating it out there into the atmosphere that like, you're dumb. It's like, if you don't buy this, you're a fucking dummy. I'm saying it. It's happening. Buy this book. Buy this fucking book.
You. I can't quote that, but thank you.
This is the importance of pre-ordering. Like, this book doesn't have Spider-Man or Batman on it. The shop owners need to know that their consumers want it, and one or two people walk in and say, hey, I want this, maybe they expand and they go, 5. They put a couple extras on the shelf. So this is the importance of pre-orders here.
Yeah, we live or die. I mean, I don't have a recognizable name, but I do have people on this book who have drawn Batman and drawn Spider-Man. So
I would,
and they still
I would argue that you have a recognizable name though. Like I feel like a lot of people know who you are. Like
maybe from like the wanted posters, but definitely not from But no, I mean, I definitely want to thank Dan DeBarge for letting me do my thing. You were talking about the design of the book. I designed all the credits pages and the bios. I did the fake ads that you see in the book. I wanted to really do a retro style.
Do you care? I won't like show things.
No, show it,
do you care
sure.
if I pull the PDF up? Like I can,
Yeah, sure.
I can just kind of show it.
I mean, we're running a little long, so how much time do you guys have? Because I don't want to, run over budget.
Well, I don't have any. I think I mentioned I'm unemployed, so I have lots of time. Well, we can do a real. Actually, it's not. Hold on.
It's not meant to be. They're shutting it down.
Add to the stream. Nope. A boop and. God, man, you would think I would know how to do this after.
You work for PDFs, or the PDFs don't work for you.
Yeah, I work for PDFs, but the PDFs don't give a fuck about me. Oh, here we go. Nope, that's a slobber knocker. Oh wow, it only lets me do. StreamYard only lets you show browser tabs. It doesn't let you show programs.
Okay. Well, we all learned something today.
Well, sorry everybody. StreamYard.
They're the original lyrics to the Dire Straits song.
Well, that just gives everyone more of an incentive to pick up the book. Whether
really,
it's from,
you got to get it. It's like I said, the production value is great. The layout, graphics, content, it's really good. I can't say enough about it. Kilchella 1 through 4. If you can pick up those back issues, the trade's going to come out someday. It's hard
October, maybe?
October.
Yeah.
It's such a long way away.
We'll see. I mean, behind the scenes stuff, but October is what I hear.
I mean, it is a horror comic. It does fit.
I mean, yeah, that would be
spooky season.
That would be a good time for it to come out.
Simon Schuster probably won't mess around. They'll probably get it out.
Oh, just to wrap things. I'm not. We can talk for fucking hours. I don't give a shit, guys. But like, I do want to make sure.
I got to go to bed sooner or later, Blake. So.
Yeah.
I do want to make sure everybody gets a recap real quick. So Matt has been quiet for a while, and I'm sorry, Matt. Thank you for hanging out and being here and being part of the stream. And we got Metal Eagle 1 on Kickstarter right now. I don't know if you guys heard him earlier, but he's got all the books, like he's got the whole arc written and it's ready to go. And all you got to do is get on Kickstarter. He's got about 3150 to go. And he's in his first week. So like, let's fund this. Let's fund this shit so that he doesn't have to like sweat over it. Like no one likes that. No one likes those like long 2.5 weeks of mid Kickstarter campaigns where you're refreshing and looking and no one's doing anything. Like, don't wait for the last 48 hours. Just get in there and fucking buy the goddamn book. It's good. It's really good. It's good. It's spy. It's punk rock. There's some governmental shenanigans. People are doing LSD. People are fucking playing punk rock. It's cool, and it's got really great art. Matt, you got anything else to say about it, or did I just like sell it better than you ever could?
You did a really great job, so I don't know if I have much to add to it. I just really appreciate it. Yeah, the LSD, the punk, all that stuff. That was you nailed it. So we'll stick with that.
Nice. I'm really glad you came on my show, the one and only time that you'll probably ever be here after this. It was really great to have you though, but if you're ever feeling frisky, you can always come back. I promise. Like it's not always this bad. It's sometimes it's a lot of times this bad, but it's not always this bad. Next up, we got James. We got James with a real
one more time.
A real slobber knocking motherfucking of a comic, ladies and gentlemen. We're slobbing on the knobber knocking, and we're doing power bombs through tables and fucking barbed wire and fucking. We're slamming fucking. What are those called? Those tube lights? Those phosphorescent things? God damn it! We're hitting them with them. We're hitting them with tube lights. Oh, wow, I fucked this up. Wow, Matt got the good part. James got the bad part. I'm really sorry.
All good. Look,
really sorry.
If you're frustrated about WrestleMania Night 2, maybe pick up my comic book. That'll be a nice little refresher for you.
That is, I've heard there have been a lot of people frustrated. Like people are
not me.
Yeah,
I just seen because when I mentioned earlier that like I don't ever really know what's going on, but it's like I see like everybody's got their fucking hot takes, right? Because everybody can like write better than somebody else or perform better than somebody else or make better comics than like Tom King or whoever. I don't fucking know, but a lot of people were like this WrestleMania was it's garbage and I'm mad. No, anyways, like that's not what the slobber knocker is about, right? The slobber knocker is about leaning back, putting your arms behind your head, and just getting a real good time from somebody. I don't know.
That's the second definition in Urban Dictionary.
I'm sorry. I lost it.
Good. So pro wrestling comics. That's where we're at. So.
No, James, I'm really excited for this. I think the art looks great. The drama looks great. The relationship between your characters looks great. It all looks really fucking great, and I'm really excited about it. And you're funded, so we're just trying to like get that extra money. We're trying to like squeeze that water out of a rock, baby. That's right? It. Like
help us make those things a little faster than the next two issues. So we'll wrap it up. And don't worry, Blake, I'll get you a PDF. So once that's ready.
No, you don't have to. You probably won't ever want to talk to me again. It's fine. No, it's fine. It's cool. We did it. We got it done. But no, guys, I appreciate it. Like real quick, I guess we should do this. Hold on. We only have 5 entries. You fucking slackers. Here we go. Is this playing? Oh, I was supposed to share my screen. I forgot to share my screen.
Oh, this is going to be an honor system then.
Hold on. Oh wait. Hold on.
It's going to the guy in Australia.
Well, sort of. He's in fucking Argentina.
Okay. He travels a bit.
Just another A country. Yeah.
It goes to Ignacio. You guys see that? Oh wait, nope. I got to show it. It goes to Ignacio, which is cool because I owe him comics from like a year ago from the last giveaway I did.
There you go. Congratulations.
Ignacio won. Yeah, we gave away a From the Static book. You're gonna get that. You're gonna get that, and you're also gonna get the Wuxia comics you won from Immortal Studios last year. I'll get you. The way I do giveaways at Blake's Buzz is I get them to you a year later because I keep you watching the show, right? You're going to tune in every week. You're like, this motherfucker's going to send me these comics. I'm like, I don't know, man, but I'm going to get your metrics. You're going to tune in. I'm going to get those minutes watched on my YouTube channel. Anyways, guys, I'm sorry. I feel like I just owe everybody an apology.
No way.
We're good.
I'm gonna tune back in next week. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Because then it's like, what's he gonna do next week? You know?
I don't know. No, this tonight was I didn't even get like, I'm just in like a good mood. I didn't even get that drunk tonight. Like you guys just got me excited.
I'm 3 beers in. You're just drinking the one, right?
Well, I'm not drinking wine. I did cash this out, but this was not a full bottle, by the way. It was like
it's like, damn.
I was like, we're about 4 fingers into this. Is what?
Which Forester is that one?
That's the it's the 100 proof. It's the 1870. It's $25 and it tastes like a $50 bottle of whiskey. It's fucking good. It's ridiculous.
That costs like $35 out here.
Oh man.
No, I mess with
the one good thing Kansas City does. Cheaper beer.
I mess with Statesman from Old Forester, regular, and also Prohibition style.
Nice. There's at the store there's a $60 bottle, and I kind of want to try it. I can't remember what it is. I don't remember what it's called, but like I'm like, man, if the $25 bottle tastes this good, like if I buy the $60, but then like it was like when I tried Johnny Walker Blue the first time, and it was like it tasted like melted butter. Like it just was like warm, melted butter in my mouth, and I've been jonesing for that ever since. But I can't spend $300 on a bottle of alcohol. I just can't.
No. I definitely big up Old Forester. My wife got me tickets to the distillery when we were in Louisville one weekend.
Ooh,
I mean,
nice.
It's awesome. Yeah,
I would like to go to more. I've been to like beer places. I've never been to whiskey places. I feel like that would be bad. I feel like they'd carry me out of there. I feel like they'd be like, "Sir, this is a tour. You have to leave." And I'd be like, "No,
they give you drinks.
I'm a YouTuber. People know me. I'm Blake's Buzz. Fuck you, buddy."
But that's not my real name.
That's not my real name. Driver's license. Give his name.
Well, guys, I got this, and I'm gonna say, we took our last drink. There's nothing else left to lose. If any of you guys, do any of you guys have anything you want to shout out at the end of the night? Anything else that I haven't said? Mario?
I want to shout out Metal Eagle. It's really good. Matt, you did a great job. I love that type of storytelling where you're taking some type of celebrity and mixing this type of otherworld espionage. I mean, Operation Fortune was a movie that did that with Josh Hartnett as an actor. I think you're stepping it up to another level. I backed it right here on the call. So
thanks.
Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm so glad I got Matt one backer because I fucking double booked him and then I made him put up with my shit for 2 hours. I'm glad he got something out of it, man. I'm sorry. I still, Matt, I'll call myself out, man. I feel so bad and I'm so sorry. And thank you for being like so chill about it. It was unprofessional of me. And I really do want to say like, it was really great to have you on the show. And I hope you find it in the deepest, blackest parts of your heart to come back here in the future because I would love to have you. But if not, I totally understand that too. And that goes for all of you. Like James, Mario's been on a few times. James, I'd have you back on anytime, especially if you ever want to like choke slam a child on live. Like that'd be great. We could do like a whole maybe like a pledge deal and like. How hard can he hurt this kid? $5 more, $10 more? I don't know. Let's go. Something weird. We could do that. And it's your kid, right? So like, it's your fucking health insurance. You guys
maybe don't put it on there because then the CPS is definitely going to call me. So because it's like, we have video evidence of it.
But no, all you guys, this was. This was really great. It was a pleasure to talk to all you guys. Thank you for putting up with me for 2 hours, and I appreciate you all. I think you all have really great projects. Regardless if people watch it tonight or later, I really hope that they tune in. Real quick, I want to go around to everybody, and I just want you to tell us like the best places to follow you. James, let's start with you. Where do we find you online? If you guys have like newsletters or stores or anything, like drop it right now. Let us know where to keep track of you.
Yeah. Best place is probably Twitter. It's just James Ferguson, my name. I got there early. And then I do have a website that I need to update. That's just jamesfergcomics.com.
Nice. Mario, what about you, bud?
It's right here in my name. The other Mario C on Twitter. Another Mario C on Instagram. That's more just stunt pictures. You don't want to go on Twitter to get the good stuff.
Twitter for the goods. Oh man, who hears that lately? Twitter's like, I just got to 5K and everybody keeps talking about like Twitter ending. And I'm like, man, like, no.
You gotta stop following Chicken Little, man. This guy isn't really falling like that.
I didn't think it is. You know who gets me is Mark Russell. Mark Russell keeps going around being like, where do we go after this? I'm like, Mark, let's not go anywhere and just stay here and see what happens. And he's like, no. And I'm like, fine, Mark.
Twitter feels like after the bar closes and all like the one friends like, where are we going?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, how do we?
Yeah. Like, dude, fucking George, my boss, has a fucking 8-ball blow. Let's go to his house and get weird, see what happens. Like, that was my life for 7 years. Anyway, no, don't do drugs unless they're good. Do good drugs. Only do good drugs, ladies and gentlemen. And on that note, Matt.
Good drugs. All right, Matt, what do you got?
Matt, the best drugs are comics. Ooh, that's my next T-shirt. I just figured out my next T-shirt. That's cool. We need that. Anyway, Matt, hi, buddy. Remember that one time when you said you were going to come on my show and you're going to regret that forever? Why don't you tell us where we should keep track of you online so we can know about all the cool comics you do that you never talk to me about in the future because I fucked up.
No, I have at least 2 or 3 more issues to come back and talk to you after this. So, but MattKund.com, my name with a .com on it will take you to my website. On the left side, there's going to have all of that stuff, Twitter, Instagram, Substack. So MattKund.com is probably the easiest place to go.
Nice. Well, all of you guys, I just want to remind everybody, all of you are great storytellers and you're great people for putting up with me. But regardless of that, like, everything I've read from you guys, preview pages, full issues, regardless of what I said about that earlier, all of you guys are you're great people. You're great people for indie comics, and I'm glad indie comics has you, and I'm glad that you all want to take a risk, either from direct market or privatized crowdfunding. All of you guys are, the name of the game and you have good stories to tell. And I'm proud to have you on my show and I appreciate you putting up with me, and I'm sorry. At the end of the day, I'm just sorry.
No reason to be sorry. No reason to be sorry at all.
Yeah.
But no, I really do. I really do love all your comics and I'm excited about them. James's, I only got like 7 pages, but that's cool. I love those 7 pages, and I retract my previous statement of like
all good.
But no, all of you guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with me on a Thursday night. I know you probably I think all you guys have families. I don't. I mean, I have like a family, but they just don't care about me. Anyways, what? No, that's fine. It's God damn. You guys get me all flustered, man, because I'm just like, I just want to like be Blake.
You're passionate.
Everywhere.
You're passionate, Blake. That's it.
Yeah, I'm bullshit. I'm passionate. I'm passionate bullshit. That's why Mario put me on the back of his comic, because he's like, this is some passionate bullshit. Like, people maybe read this and buy it, which is weird. Like, why do they put us on the back of comics? Because like, who's gonna see that other than people who buy it? Have you ever thought about that? Like, I like it. I dig it that like my name's on the back of that, but like, no one's ever gonna see that unless like they buy it, but they already bought it. So like, why on the back of the cover are you telling other? It's a weird conundrum, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. All I know is that I talked way too fucking much tonight, and all these guys are way more creative and talented than I am, and I'm just so glad they came on Blake's Buzz. You need to back Metal Eagle #1 because it's fucking dope and it's fun. And the artist is on one. It's not like other shit you see on the fucking shelves. You need to get Tales from the Pandemic because Mario doesn't fuck around and makes you love the part of your life that you hated for a couple years. I don't know how he did that. And James Ferguson edits a lot of great fucking comics and has finally decided, after backing 4,699 other Kickstarters, that he feels like he should fucking launch a Kickstarter himself. I feel like he knows what to do, And his preview art looks real fucking great. He shows you like shows you like half the goddamn issue. I don't know if that's a smart maneuver or not. I'm just saying he has a lot of Spider-Man figures too, which is pretty fucking cool. All of you guys are real neat motherfuckers. Can I just throw that out there that like you're all really cool and I appreciate you and I'm glad Indie Comics has you. And by the way, I don't know if I love more, hate less, read comics. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you everybody for listening. Thanks for fucking being a winner in fucking Argentina, Ignacio. I really appreciate that. Can't wait to send that out to you, prick. Anyway, no, I love you. I love him. He's a great artist. All of you guys, this was awesome. This was so fun. I appreciate you. I'm going to play the music. I'm going to let you guys leave, and we are done. That's all.
It's Blake's Buzz Live.